Hey, what's up? This is your girl Diamond Stylz. I go live every Friday at 7 o'clock. I am late today, but that's okay. Today, make sure you thumbs up as you come into the live. Some of the topics that I have on the in my notes to discuss: the Lamar Odom documentary, um, Brandy and Wanya, Sam Bateman, and this new documentary on Netflix called The False Prophet. I also want to touch on Afrikan Bambaata's death and the controversy around him. And I might tell a story at the end. And of course, like I do every live, we open it up to discuss whatever we feel like talking about. Yeah, let's see what's going on. What is everybody doing? Hey, Andre. Hey, Ty. Gigi. Turner. Angel, what's your tea? Currently, I am wearing Drew's Noten. I love this. I have two of her fragrances. This is my favorite. I have my second favorite is a bottle that looks like this, but it's white and green instead of blue. And instead of blue and white. This smells like how do I describe this? This smells like, okay, picture it. I'll give y'all a good description. So the top notes, before I give y'all the notes, let me describe. So picture yourself. You're with your love. You are in a South African luxury rendezvous. Look that up if you don't know what that is. It's a luxury one, not a traditional one, but a luxury one. You're situated. It's a luxury one that is situated in the middle of citrus grove. Like if you don't know, South Africa has like imports lemons and stuff sometimes too. Anyway, so think about a citrus grove, not just lemon, but citrusy, not super sweet. Think about like bergamot. Situated in a citrus grove. It's morning in March, but the sun hasn't came up. The sun hasn't came up yet. It's cool. It's March in South Africa, so it's cool. It's not warm and hot because this is the southernmost point in Africa. It's March, cool. The sun hasn't came up, so nothing is shining. It's dark, and because y'all are gonna get your day started, there is coffee brewing, but it's just starting to brew. It's not like filling the room like it would if you hadn't just started. It's just a little bit. It's not filling the room like, oh, coffee. No, it's just a little bit because it just started. And it's dark. You both are naked. You're happy. He's happy in that long time love that just hasn't died down. It's like, how sometimes you be in love and it's not smack dab in that early stage where it's like, oh, but it hasn't dwindled because y'all actually like each other. and y'all in this cottage-like space. He is sitting on a soft leather couch, naked. You are naked because y'all walking around this house in the morning. It's no need to have no clothes on. And he's sitting there. There's a fire going, but it's been going all night, so it's not raging. It's kind of like cindering. And you walk over to the chair and you straddle him. The chair is well loved, but it's cool because leather can be hot, but it's cool. Remember, this is not summertime. This is a cool, so the leather is inviting. You have a bowl of chocolate and black currants, and you are feeding it to him, and you straddle him. In the middle of the straddling, as you tease and squeeze the juices around his lips, you go in for a passionate kiss. That's what this smells like. And I love it. I love it. It's one of my favorite scents for sexy time, cuddle. It just makes you feel young and sexy. Not young as in teeny bopper, but young as in late 20s, early 30s young. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So go check it out. It is, yeah. The top notes is bergamot and black currant. The middle notes is like they call it a silk accord, but that just means that they made it powdery. They made some kind of fragrance that gives you like a luxury soft feel, like think about chocolate satin. There's something in there that's like really soft and luxurious, and they call it a silk accord, but what does silk smell like? um and then chestnuts, chestnuts and cocoa. That's the bottom notes. Yeah, and rose. Rose is a middle note, is a mid note too. So roses, chocolate. Yeah, I love it. This is one of my favorites. There's another one that I wear that is a green one, but it's more fresh, bright, sunny, clean. No, I'm not a sponsor. I'm just sharing what shit that I love for y'all. In hope it brings you joy if you go try it. If you want to give me some coins, you can just super chat me. But no, it's just so you can go, and you can go to any you can go to Saks, get don't pay for it, get you go ask for some samples. But if you love it, pay for it. Splurge on yourself. Anyway, yeah. What is y'all tea this week? This week has been pretty uneventful for me. Hey Ray. Hey Deshaun. Now you know what a rondavel is. Go look it up. That's why I said you gotta go look it up. A rondavel in South Africa. I did finish Phases. We're going to talk about that. I did finish it. The braids still look brand new. I've only had them. When did I have them? Oh wow! It has been a while. It seems like I just got these last week, but I didn't get them last week. Let me see. I got these. When did I get these? Wow, I done had these for a month. On the 10th. I got these on the 10th. Interesting. It seems like I just got them last week, but it don't feel like I just got them last week. My hair was too short on the side, so some of them fell off. They didn't break off, but the but the braids slipped off when I washed them. Says zoop. I was like, oh no. But it was short on the sides anyway, so and I don't know if y'all can't see it, but honey, they're telling my age. It's a little gray right there. Girl, spilling my tea, girl. Doing more prep work for some trips I'm taking this summer. Just work as usual. God, I have a lot of work that I need to do. I'm gonna start this weekend, but I need to start on it. I need to finish it by next Friday. So I have some grants that I'm applying for Marsha's plate, and I hate writing grants. Oh my god, I hate it. But I am. I we have deadlines to do. Um, uneventful, but I'm happy for this rain. I'm making a low pot of chili, but with some spaghetti noodles in it. Come on, very Midwest. I made some. I made some beef stew. I was like, this is gonna be my last little wintry fall meal. Made some beef stew and cornbread, but I put half, really not even half, like 2/3 in the freezer so that I can eat on it throughout the weeks. The first I just finished literally an hour ago. The first um the first third. It was delicious. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Hey Moni, how are you? Alrighty. Let's get into the conversation. Oh, I forgot to give y'all the name of it. It is called, I don't know how to pronounce this word, but this is how to spell it. This is some French shit. Swa Malakwa. I think that's how you say it. Just so y'all can know what to ask for when you get there. It is some French stuff. The description, it says that's the name of it. Oh, it says chestnut silk on the bottom. Let me see if I can that. Um yeah, so let's get into it. Let's get into the tea. All right. I want to start by talking. I wanted to name this live. Are the niggas okay? Are the men all right? Because it seems like the men are not all right. Because it's just a bunch of situations. Are they ever okay? But it just seems like a bunch of situations, and I'm like, I've watched, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? Because it's just wild. And one of them is the documentary on Netflix on Lamar Odom. It offers a very gaggy look at his. He is a basketball player. If y'all don't know, they they basically tell the story of him rising and then his struggles with addiction and his struggles with the game and then struggles with addiction, his personal battles, from his NBA success to his near fatal overdose, where he was like having heart attacks and strokes and shit, um, and survived them. Um, he opens up about all of the stuff, the addiction, the fame, the recovery. To me, it's a really really good there's some fucked up shit that happened in it, but it's a really really good documentary to me, because it combines interview with his children, his baby mamas, his wife, of course, Khloe Kardashian, um, and like it's tons of like personal like archive footage that you don't really get to see, so it's kind of raw, and he's being pretty honest from what I can tell. It doesn't feel like there's any like I didn't feel like there was any kind of holding back. It felt like he was being truthful and saying what he wanted to say. Um, you can you can definitely tell he is a slut for reality TV and the cameras and that kind of stuff. But it's really emotional because he is vulnerable. Um, and so, but the tea that I want to get in is the Chloe and his situation, because that was a situation that was like, what is going on? And it is just proof. I'll talk about that later. So this portion, watch the documentary, but this portion I gotta kind of spoil it a little bit. So not spoil it because y'all should know if y'all follow his story. I'm not really a basketball fan, so when I got the when I started to hear about Lamar Odom is because of the overdose, the drug rumors, and then him marrying Khloe Kardashian. Like Khloe was always the ugly sister, if I'm to be honest. Especially after Kylie had all of them surgeries and got sickening. Chloe was always the ogre of the family to me, but she was always the, which is kind of fitting. She was always the one that personality wise, I liked her better than the rest of the girls. She was the cool one. She was the one that I feel like I would be cool with, as opposed to just liking them for their beauty. I thought you were talking about Carl Malone at first. Oh, I know that name, and I associate it with. Ain't that the one that got the 13-year-old girl pregnant, which is on theme with this show? And Carl Malone got the 13-year-old girl pregnant, and then found out that the baby claimed the baby wasn't his, and then it was his, and he admitted it later. Or is that another man? Didn't he have like a long? Yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so which I'm not talking about him, but that goes with the theme of this fucking this show. Um, yeah, so apparently this is irrelevant to what we're talking about, but somebody brought up Carmelo. Carmelo is a basketball player who got a 13-year-old girl pregnant and didn't claim the baby. The parents didn't press charges, didn't claim the baby, denied the baby for years and years and years and years and years. Was he forced to get a paternity test or something? Some kind of something happened with a paternity test proving that the baby was his decades later, I'm to assume. And yeah, pedophile weirdo, not held accountable. So anyway, back to Lamar. So no, I'm not talking about Carl Malone. Back to Lamar. Lamar is not a pedophile. The bar is low. He is a drug user that likes to party. Charming basketball rich nigga that loves to dabble in the cocaines of the things of the things of the things. And so, yeah, that's him. I don't find Lamar's story to be the part about him, being young, rich, and partying. I feel that's not unique. I feel like that's pretty common with the young rich niggas, especially if they come from being poor. They come from being poor. I don't find his story to be riveting because of that. The story that I found to be is the Khloe Kardashian part. So they meet each other because Khloe gets hired for basketball event party. Oh, Ron Artiste. What's when he was for work playing? Was he playing for the Pacers? At some point, Ron Artiste was playing for somebody that was connected to me, but now he done changed his name to something World Peace, Mock World Peace, some shit. He didn't change his name, but anyway, when he got traded to the LA Lakers, he had a party because he too is a party bad boy. Meta World Peace, yes. I'm not a sports person, so please, I don't be knowing all the tea. But something, um, he got traded to the Lakers, and they had a welcome to the team kind of party event. And so at the time, this is when the Kardashian girls were on their come up. They were doing hosting parties, hosting gigs. This is them building their popularity and brand and blah 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 blah. So they hired Kourtney Kardashian to host the party. And so that's where they met. And within the month, he has proposed to her and married her. She said yes, and they get married within a month. Now everybody is like, "What?" Because that's a gag. But from what I understand, what the way it seems, Lamar wanted a way into celebrity, that reality TV train that was snowballing in the time. He wanted to be a part of that zeitgeist, that Kardashian zeitgeist, because he was out here running the streets and he knew that he was burning the candles from both ends. Like, I'm out here doing drugs. I know I might not. I done got to the point where I am doing my thing in basketball. And I think at this point he had got a ring or something. He had got to whatever peak he wanted when it comes to basketball. So he knew I'm going to want to do other stuff. And the gateway for me to doing what I think is the shiny gold, shiny thing is this reality TV. And this bitch can get me into that arena. And so what you see in the documentary is how he uses her to get into their own show. They had a Lamar and Khloe show. He uses her, and when I say use, that's what I feel it is. I don't feel it was love. I feel like it was, I like you, you like me. I'm going to manipulate you in a way to get what I want. Because if you pay attention to his relationship even before, he was very selfish and very emotionally disconnected to his partners. He also had a son that dies of is it SIDS? where the baby just dies, like something goes on. So, so even in the situation with his baby mama, it just felt like he was not emotionally connected to anything to care about what was going on with himself or with the people around him. And I just feel like this is a, I don't know what the right word is. I don't know if it's a narcissist or a sociopath. I don't know. He just feels, to me, it feels like he is one of those men who is emotionally not available to himself or to other people. Like, it is certain things in this show that I'm like, what? When his baby died, when it just was crazy. Anyway, so there when he went to this bunny ranch in outside of Las Vegas or outside of Reno, somewhere in Nevada, and he overdosed on drugs. And so he went to the hospital and he was on the way out of here. He was having strokes, he was having all this kind of stuff. And the crazy part, this to me is one of the craziest part of his story to me. He's about to die. Like, he's stroking, he's on machines, and they were suggesting to pull the plug on him because he wasn't going to survive. And he had already broke up with Khloe. She had already filed for divorce, but it hadn't gone through yet. And so when this happened, she comes to the hospital, and his father, who his father assumed that he was the executive of the estate, he was going to pull the plug on Lamar. And Khloe came in and said, "Nah, that's not gonna happen." And everybody was like, "Girl, what are you talking about? Y'all not even together no more." And she was like, "But the ink ain't signed. I'm still his wife, and y'all not about to kill him. We gonna have to fight this. We gonna have to see what's going on." Make sure y'all thumbs up. It is 35 people in here and only 18 people thumbed up. Um, and she was like, "Nah, I'm still his wife. So at the end of the day, I got the power." And this is important. I feel like if you shacking up with a dude, you need to staying with a dude for long periods of time and him not marrying you, and y'all have financial assets connected to each other and all kinds of stuff. Get married. Don't let people convince you that that doesn't have any value. There are certain circumstances that you as a wife will have way more power than other people. And so this situation taught me that, and the situation with Barry White. Do y'all know the situation with Barry White? Barry White had a wife that he wasn't with for years, but he didn't divorce her. Her name was Glow. He used to beat the dog mess out of Glow, super abusive. But if you don't know, Barry White was a gangster ass dude. Like, he would bully people out of publishing deals. He would bully people, force them to write a song, and then basically strong arm them and say, "Nigga, I'm not gonna put you in the credits. It's just gonna be me." What you gonna say? Sign this. Like, that's how Barry White moved, like very gangster and white, very gangster and wild. And he did that with men and he did that with women. So he definitely put his hands on women, and he was beating down beating down his wife Glodine. So they ended up leaving, and he got with another woman who he was with for years and years and years and years and years. But when he died, what they found out was Glodine was the one who was still his wife. Glodine didn't divorce Glodine. So Glodine was the one who was still over his estate because she was his wife, even though he wasn't. He was with the woman during the time that he died, and he had been with her for years. And so during the court proceedings, his wife runs his whole estate. So she hadn't been with him for decades. So the new girlfriend thought she was about to get something, and she did not, baby. Glodine got all of that. So that's why it's important. So anyway, Khloe Kardashian does not pull the plug. The sole decision maker of the scenario, Khloe Kardashian, says, no, we are going to fight this. We're going to bring him back. We're going to take care of him. This is my husband. I made vows to him. I'm going to do my duty as a wife through sicknesses and health and take care of him. She believed that, and she acted on that belief. So she got him a house in Calabasas because, she's rich. She got him a house and caretakers and, you get what I'm saying, all around care. And they cared for him back to health. She wiped his butt. She changed his diaper. She did all the things with her, like herself, and with the help of the nursing and people. So she really nursed him back to health to the point where he got to walking again. He got to talking again. He came back and was doing amazing. And from my perspective, right at that moment, I was like, damn, what an amazing love story if this turns out good. Like, I remember when it was going on, I was like, they were about to break up. She shows up and shows out. Like, I'm going to be dedicated to you. You are my husband. And your addiction was the problem, and then it got you to this point, and bam, okay, cool, I'm gonna prove to you that I'm down for you. And baby, after he gets back healthy, he's pretending to be less healthy than what he was, and he was calling drug dealers on the phone to come bring him drugs. And Khloe finds out about it, that I done gone through all of this stuff with you to bring you back from the brink of death. And you are lying about your being clean, not only lying about being clean, but lying about how bad you are. So he was pretending that he couldn't talk when he really could talk, and was talking to fucking drug dealers and sneaking them to the house after we have rehabilitated you back to fucking normal. Khloe, being smart, finally said, nah, I can't deal with it. I'm done with this. Just the fact that you, just this alone, after I done been through this whole situation with you, I done saved your life. I done did use my money and use our money to get you together, and you totally fuck that up and start doing drugs again after heart attacks and strokes and rehab and not being able to walk and not being able to talk, and dude. So she leaves his ass and leaves him alone. Now, her life went from out of the frying pan into the skillet. She got with Tristan Thompson, and he run her through the mud. At least she got a baby out of it. I don't know how good that is, but I don't know what the point was. What the point of this documentary was, but it didn't make Lamar look good at all. So I don't know. For me, it made him look bad. But what made him look worse, and what made me not like him. What made me to this point right now. Remember, I didn't know too much about Lamar Odom other than him being the drug addict ex-husband of Khloe Kardashian. But what made me hate him? Like what made me be like, "Oh, I just don't like you. I don't like you as a person. Your character isn't worthy of liking." Recently in a interview on Good Morning America where he was promoting the documentary, the people asked him, "So, oh, it was such a powerful moment that Khloe Kardashian saved you when your dad was about to pull the plug and she refused to pull the plug and she saved you." He was so adamant, just so, instead of saying, "Yeah, I'm so grateful for her," and da da da, she was my wife at the time, and she was my wife, and instead of being grateful, this nigga was so adamant in saying that it wasn't her. He says, "God saved me." But your dad was gonna pull the plug. No, I don't believe that's what happened. My dad would never do that. Chloe is like, nigga. Like Chloe was very adamant. Like they was about to get rid of you, bruh. Like it wasn't just her. It was multiple people confirming that that's what the family was gonna do, and she was the one who said, "Nah, that's my husband. You can't do that." They was about to get you up out of here. They were lost and out of hope, ready to get them bags. I was like, "What? What is happening?" And it pissed me off that he would be, because you could have just said, "Yeah, it was such amazing. Thank God that she was there to be my angel," or something. Do you see what I'm saying? Thank God for putting somebody in my life that cared about me. Thank God. You still can thank God while acknowledging that it was her decision. Do you see what I'm saying? But he was so adamant in not making it about her. And then there was another interview I watched where they connected with each other and he was calling her his wife and she had to correct him, ex-wife. And you can tell that he was nervous and she was like, "Why are you so nervous? Why are you being weird? Like what's going on? We're just talking. We friends now. We cool. We not in no situation, but why are you acting weird?" And you can tell that he's just a weird ass nigga. And it was like, "Oh my God, I don't like this person. I don't like this person." He's not sober. Yeah, I know. And he has no regrets. And I was listening to the end of the documentary, and now there was a weird part of the, and y'all tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. There is a weird part of the story where when he married Khloe Kardashian, his baby mama and his kids, the way they described it, it was to the it was because of the mother, the baby mama, refused to come to the wedding. Now remember, they did get married in a month, but the kids refused to come to the wedding. Now, I feel like that was shady on the baby mama's part to influence the kids to do that. And what really pissed me off is later on when he had won either his championship, he had won something, and they were doing some kind of ceremony for him. They, in that moment, because this is one of his big career moments, they wanted to come and be a part of it and be like his VIP people to come and be a part of it. This is after not showing up to his wedding, but they want to show up to this. Now, he said he wasn't going to go because he wasn't going to go. But his agent went to that house and banged on the door like, nigga. Was it the agent, somewhere, his manager, agent, somebody that cared for him, a dude, came and said, yo, you need to go to this event. This is a major thing. Like, you cannot miss this, blah, 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 blah. Something was going on. And so he had told the kids that he wasn't going. And the kids had came to his house and knocked on the door because they thought that they was basically saying they want to go to that situation, but he didn't answer the door. So he didn't end up, he was saying that he wasn't going, so they didn't go. But then he ended up changing his mind at the last minute and ended up going and getting on the bus and getting on the flow and going to the event. But in that scenario, I wasn't on Lamar's side in the sense of, I don't find Lamar's side to be wrong in that scenario. Y'all don't get to you do, but nigga, y'all selectively didn't want to come to my wedding, but all of a sudden I got this big event, career event y'all want to come to. Why y'all didn't opt to be out of that motherfucker too? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's how I would have looked at it if I was Lamar. It was like, I'm marrying this woman. Whether you understand it or not, you, my family, you should have been there. But then when I have this career moment that's getting out of the press, you want to be here involved in that? What's the difference? Like, both of them are important things to me. So why you didn't have the same energy? Keep your motherfucking ass home. That's how I would have felt if I was Lamar. Because I'm like, you don't be selective when you want to fucking support me. I just don't like that. I don't like the idea of them doing that. And what do y'all think about that scenario? Like, do y'all think that that's wrong, or if is that right? Because I don't know. I feel like if you protest or do some kind of intentional thing to not come support me on this one thing, keep that same fucking energy, even if it's some big celebrity thing. Don't fucking come. No, get out of here. I just thought that not them being selective about when they supported him was shady on their part. And it makes sense why he wasn't really giving a fuck about them. Because y'all really didn't give a fuck about him. If that makes sense. That was weird to me. I thought that was weird. So I would agree generally, but I can see a black family not liking the Kardashians. Really? I don't know. The Kardashians, to me, I don't find them to be as problematic as people love to make them. I feel like they are rich, beautiful girls. And people like to, I think there's a lot of misogyny that make people hate them more than what they need to be hated. It's not about you. I don't think people have to like them, but I think the disdain for them is, a lot of it is rooted in misogyny. I feel like a lot of it is rooted in misogyny. I just think it is. I think I think that their rise to fame, and how people frame it, like people people love to say, "Oh, them girls don't got no talent." I think that if you think that they have no talent, I think that you're an idiot. Their talent as a family is monetizing their popularity. The business side. That is their talent. And if you acting like that is not a talent, then you're an idiot. That is a talent, because if it wasn't a talent, everybody would be doing it. There is tons of reality TV stars that are pretty that have not come up and built an empire in that way. And so, yeah, that's just what it is. I won't. How I think about the Kardashians is it's not that I don't like them. I don't. It's not that I don't. Yeah, it's nothing about them that I don't like. It's just they're not. I'm not hanging. They don't have personalities that I would hang out with. They haven't done anything from my perspective to make me not like them or like them. If there's anything about them that I like, it's on superficial shit. So, for example, I think Kim Kardashian mug is sickening. I think her mug is sitting, especially when she was in her prime, when she was, you know, 28, early 30s. You know that rise of the Kim Kardashian. I'm not somebody who shits on people for surgeries. I'm not, girl. How hypocritical would that be? Um, I think she's sickening. I think that mug is sitting. I think she's the prettiest Kardashian. I think she's sickening to me. um, I love a Kendall. I think as far as looks, I think Kendall is eating. I think um Kylie's transformation is sickening. We don't have no problem with surgeries that make you look better, and hands down, her surgeries made her look better. Um, um, so yeah, I think that you know, I feel like there's nothing about them that I don't like. They haven't done something so egregious that I don't like them. Like they it just is. I don't care about them. That's what it makes. That's what I feel about them. It's like an indifference to me. And more things have happened to them that makes me feel sympathetic to them, opposed to not to the point where they got money, they can handle their business. Not to the point where I'm gonna be defending them, but like this situation with Lamar Odom and Khloe Kardashian, I am sympathizing with Khloe. The situation with Kim Kardashian and Kanye, I am sympathizing with Kim. This nigga's crazy. And while there could have been some love in that situation, right now he is on his off his rocker, and clearly he now with the apology and the letter to the public and da 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 da, clearly he was off his fucking rocker. Um, um, when it comes to Kris Kardashian, momager, bitch. I don't see that as a negative. I don't see nepotism as a negative, especially when it's about black children. I hate the conversation with Will Smith and his children being nepo babies. I think all black babies should be nepo babies. What the fuck are we talking about? I think all rich black people should be helping their children up. And I think anybody, we don't say that about poor. If I'm a black woman and I get my son on at the post office, that's nepotism. If I'm a black man and I get my child connected at this high paying job because my fraternity brothers work at that job and I get my baby on at that job, that's nepotism too. And I like that shit. I like all of it. I don't find that to be negative at all. I don't care. I don't find it to be negative at all. I think we should all be giving our children the best life possible. And if you think they shouldn't, that's fucking weird. Um, I think it's weird. Now, if you want to critique whether or not somebody deserves it, like do they have the skills to do the job, and blah 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 blah. Cool, you can critique that, but I'm not about to go be marching the streets about that shit. No. All these other white motherfuckers is having the jobs and positions, and if I'm gonna be marching the streets against it, it's gonna be from one of them motherfuckers. These legacy Ivy League college getters. I'm going to be marching. Before I get to the black people, I'm going to march against them. Before I say anything about the blacks, I'm going to get to the main culprits. Look, get in line. When it's time for me to prioritize, it's going to be them first because they've been doing it. Not saying he is right. But if I'm going to cancel or do anything to speak against, it's going to be them first. That is first. First. That is who I'm going to be talking about first. Yeah, I know. The black people got this position, but what about Chad over here? I'm gonna keep. What about Chad over here, who is in the Fortune 500 company, who his dad just put him in there? Why is he running this company? Why are we not talking about that? Why are we talking about this one? What about this? What about this? I'm gonna be pointing to that. Let's talk about Chad and Clarissa and Megan. Why are we talking about them? We got to get to them first. The billionaires and the da. We need to get them first. Thanks. We got to prioritize who is doing more harm, and I promise you, these ones over here are doing more harm. So, we need to prioritize here. That's what it is. When it comes to those money situations. Now, when it comes to you molesting people and raping people, I'm gonna be pointing at the niggas because I'm more in proximity to you, and so you need to not be harming your community. So nuance. So yeah, I don't find Chris getting her daughters, especially using shit that her daughters is already doing to bring them up. Like people like, oh, they're planning this. They orchestrated this whole porno link. She was already fucking and recording the porno. So okay, it's out here. Let's make it do what it do. I don't find that to be a problem at all. I find it actually to be brilliant. Instead of shaming your daughters, let's build an empire on it. I much rather have the empire. I think that's dope. So I don't find them to be problematic at all. The only situation that made me not like Khloe and the girls was the situation with Jordan Woods. Now that situation was the situation that made me say, you bitches play a wicked game and I don't like that. That situation is the only situation that I feel like I'm like, ooh, I don't like y'all hoes. Don't try to play. Don't try to railroad Jordan because yo raggedy ass nigga can't keep his dick to himself. So yeah, I don't find them to be as problematic as other people do. I don't really care about them that much. Yeah. That and the black women on the leash. Um it's two things that I need to address before I get to them. The black woman who was on the leash, why did you do that? Because I don't want to take away your agency. If this was some kind of kink for you, your choice, da 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 da. I can't get. I can't. It's the same thing I thought with the Snoop Dogg shit. Snoop Dogg had bitches on leashes, and so this is what y'all wanted to do. That seems a little weird, but this feels like choice. This feels like I'm choosing to be on a red carpet on a leash. When it's consensual, it is what it is. It's like Now I'm gonna have conversations like, baby, why would you do that? Why would the opposites? With the optics of the world, why would you choose to be on a leash on a red carpet? I don't expect I don't expect much from white people. So I don't expect Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, to be thoughtful enough about race. So I think she could easily have been thinking, this would be so cool. I don't see color. Of course, this is just me and my girls having fun. So I don't expect some rich white girl to think like that, especially in the time. But you a black girl. What's going on with you? Why would you let her leash you? That's what I would have. So that's what I would but I don't I think y'all expect a lot from people who, especially celebrities. I don't expect I don't expect a lot from white women at all. I don't expect them to be thoughtful about race. That don't mean you don't call them out, but that situation, I want to talk to the black woman that was on the leash. I could see a young, white, rich girl being dumb. A young, I want you to think a young, white, rich girl who grew up in California. Yeah, I want to talk to Megan. I want to talk to the black girl. I want to talk to them. Why? And not, I want to know, was this a force or is your choice? And if it's your choice, what's the problem? I don't like it. Couldn't have been me. But if it's choice and nobody is forced to do it, you choosing to do it, then you are the coon. I want to ask Megan a lot of questions nowadays. Many, many, many questions. Many questions. I actually don't want to ask her any questions. She's a weirdo to me. I feel like Megan is a weirdo. I feel like when she was, that time when she was saying she was accidentally bleaching and them brows was weird. Yay. Make sure you thumbs up. Them brows was weird. She's claiming I was accidentally bleaching. Okay, girl. Um, the celibacy pastor weird era, weird, coming to um Jonathan Major's side so quickly, like during the trial, like so quickly. Like it was the timing for me that was weird about that. It's not that you want to slide in the DMs of Jonathan Majors during his time of need and be a consoling breast to lay on. I ain't hating on that part. Do what you do, cause but to be so public in coming to save him in an abusive context. Like he's in a situation where he's being accused of abusing people, multiple people, not just this one person. And you're coming in as like the black woman savior during that time. Let that die down or keep it behind the scenes. And then okay, I was with him during his time of need, but to be so public, going to court, I'm standing by his side in that type of situation, in that moment, that soon, and you one of our black Hollywood darlings, that was late and tired to me. She got lost tons of points and got tons of weirdo tomato points thrown at her. Um So yeah, she just one of them people that I'm like, you are a fucking weirdo, like a pick me weirdo. It just she gives one of them pick me ass weird bitches, church bitches. She's just weird to me. Weird. Um, Silence is definitely her friend. The more she talks to strangers, she seems. Yes, she's just weird. It's and I think she's another example, a black example of she hasn't done anything to me that's so egregious that I don't like her. She's just a weird ass bitch. She weird. She just weird. She shit that you know. There are pick me chicks out here. There are I side out any bitch that be when you hold men accountable that oh we gotta protect our men, girl. Okay, I think that that's real, but for you to say it when we're holding them accountable for something in this day and age, the whole yeah we are emasculating our men. It's okay to be a straight man. It's okay to be a boy. Nobody is fucking saying it's not okay to be a boy. Nobody is saying it's not okay to be straight. Get your dumb ass out of here. Yeah. Wouldn't delete her whole pictures for her pastor husband, but rehomed her cat for the woman beater. Ain't that crazy? Crazy. Insane. Crazy. But anyway, let me go to the next subject. I thought that the daddy wanting to get the coins and her coming to save the day was admirable. So shout out to Khloe Kardashian. And I don't think for getting out of that situation instead of being it dragging it along over and over and over. Um and I don't think Lamar Odom has learned anything. Yeah. I don't think he'll learned anything. All right. Let's talk about this Brandy and Wanya situation. So, in her new book that I just finished a couple of days ago, her memoir, Phases, Brandy offers an intimate look at her life and career, but to me, it's her revelation about her complex relationship with Wanya Morris that really stands out. Her situation growing up, going back and forth to Mississippi from California, and getting bullied in the way that she did when she was younger. I think that stood out. Um, and her situation with Dark Child, with Rodney Jerkins. I thought that that was interesting. And something that I learned that I didn't know. So Immature, they're Immature had Batman, LDB, Little Drummer Boy, and Romeo. Romeo used to have a patch. I didn't know that Brandy was the reason he had a patch because he tried to touch her titties. He grabbed her titties to be funny in front of the rest of the boys, and she knocked him in the head with a book and scratched his cornea, and that's why he had the patch in his eye. I did not know Brandy had did that. I just thought it was a part of the aesthetic of them be trying to be cool, like the costume of the person. But Brandy knocked his motherfucking eye out with a book because he tried to grope her breast. I got my motherfucking life because of that. That was sickening. To know because it was always it was always like a music soul child in his glasses because he always and because he got them Stevie Wonder eyes where something wrong with their eyes or something, so they cover it up so it's not a distraction when they're singing. And so I thought that Romeo eyes was cocked or something, and that's why he had the patch or whatever. And so I just knowing that she had knocked that fucking eye. I was like, whoa, I can't believe that. So anyway, so in the book she described this like deep emotional connection with the Boyz II Men singer Wanya, the one that runs too much. And now that we're dragging him, can we admit that he runs too damn much like Latasha Scott? If I'm to be honest, it's not saying that he didn't have no hits and he didn't have no good song and he can't sing. Yes, he can sing, but he runs too goddamn much. And it annoys the fuck out of me. I don't like to listen to him live. I like his recorded sessions. It's love. But he runs too goddamn much. I hadn't heard it. I didn't know we was in accord on that. I didn't know we were in accord. He oversings so much that it's insane. I didn't know that that was a common thing for people to say. In the same way that we say about Latasha, I hadn't heard that about Wanya. Wanya run too goddamn much. And it was so dope when I heard when Brandy was saying, not Brandy didn't say this, but Brandy said it to him, but he said this story. When I was watching Sean Stockman, the long face Boyz II Men, the dark skinned long face one with the lighter voice. I actually like his voice compared to all the other ones. He doesn't, it's not powerful, but his voice like Candy Burris just fits with the Boyz II Men aesthetic. You can't have Wanya is the closer. It's kind of like he's the Dorinda Clark Cole of Boyz II Men, similar to, like Dorinda is with Clark's sister. Karen is the closer. Karen is gonna be the she gonna do the climax of the song and the da 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 da. But Dorinda, you can't take away her part either. Like she got some sickening parts in the songs too. You feel what I'm saying? So it's similar to, that's how I think about Sean Stockton. Sean Stockton is like, there's certain parts of the song that just sound so good. We needed his voice. We needed his voice. Yes, I love Wanya doing his thing. But we needed his voice too. And so yeah, anyway, I didn't know that we agreed on him doing too damn much. He do got a long face. He don't got a long face, y'all. Like it's very slender and long. Like slender and long. Like the man from what's the black villain on Princess and the Frog? Like that character, long face. He looked like he could play him. Whatever the voodoo man is. We could have gotten to the end of the road faster. If he would have stopped all that running. But anyway, so Wanya, I went on a tangent. Wanya was on Sean Stockman's show talking about the history of Boyz II Men with his bandmates. And Wanya was telling a story about how Whitney Houston, because they were talking about Whitney, how Whitney Houston told Brandy to him, which I love. Now that I've read the book, I love that this happened. So we all know that Whitney is the voice. You get what I'm saying? Whitney, if you come up in the 90s, Whitney was the pinnacle of voice for male and female singers. Whitney was the voice. So you get what I'm saying? That's just, that's what it was. So it's just one of the undeniable voices. So Wanya said that Brandy told him that Whitney said, yeah, he can sing, but can he hold a note? And he doing all of that damn running. And when Wanya shared that on the of course I heard it in Whitney's voice when she said Paula Abdul, that bitch can't sing. She's singing off key on the record. Mommy, on the record. Baby, I can hear her saying in that tone of voice to Brandy behind the scenes, yeah, he can sing, but all that damn running, can he hold a note? I wanted to hear that in person. I wish I was a fly on the wall to hear it. And to hear him and all the boys was like, well, and Wanya say, well, she was right. So it just made me get better in my finesse in how to tone that down because this is Whitney. So put a pin in that thought. So remember, in that interview, he's saying that Brandy told him that Whitney said this. She did say it, so it's not no dishonest thing. She did say it. But put a pin in that thought. So I like music podcasts. So I watch all music podcasts. So the black ones, like R&B Money, We So Crazy. So anytime the music artist people come on, I'm watching it. So put a pin in that. So in the book, because we talk about Brandy's book. So in the book, Brandy talks about how she's a teenager, right? So she's 15, 16, 17 when she's madly in love with him. So, but she started to describe how he would play with her self-esteem when it comes by using her voice and his critiquing of her voice. So mind you, this is somebody at the top of their game, just like her. She's solo, rising up as a star. This is Boys to Men, already in the top of their game, doing their thing. You get what I'm saying? One of the shining voices of music of the 90s. So she's doing good. He's doing good. And he gets to talking about how, why you don't sing like this? Talking about Faith. Faith does, what's the song? Soon as I get home, I'll make it up to you. Baby, I'll do what I gotta do. That, and so apparently he made a comparison to Brandy about Faith, but it wasn't just about Faith. It was other female artists in the industry who was coming up, doing their thing, comparing it to Brandy. Now, we love Faith. We know Faith can sing down. Wear her out. She wears it out. There's a reason why she was the only feature on Karen Clark Sheard's album by herself in a song. There's a reason on her first album. Faith is, people don't know, Faith, but not only on her solo shit, but it's a bunch of shit that she was a part of. Like, she do backgrounds on fucking on Confessions, which is a quintessential R&B album, period, but also of Usher's career. She do tons of background vocals on them. Faith been dibbling and dabbling in a bunch of shit because Faith is a beast. Anyway, so, but Brandy is Brandy. And Brandy, of the 90s pop girlies, she was the one. Her collab with Little Dragon, yes. She was the one coming up who was the pop star. She was the one. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? You even out of the girls who was coming up, Aaliyah, Monica, while we love those girls, they didn't do numbers like Brandy. They didn't have these moments like Brandy. And this goes against, you know, the colorism stuff. She was going against, you got all these pretty high yellow bitches. And I'm supposed to, not saying that because Brandy always been a beauty to me, but stereotypically, these girls are supposed to be winning. These light high yellow, but you got Maya, Monica, um, um, what's the other girl? Aaliyah, Maya, Monica, Aaliyah. Based on the colorism, these bitches are supposed to be outdoing me. But my voice and my sickening different look is, and my braids is making me, I'm still outdoing these bitches. I'm still the one that Whitney chose to be Cinderella. I'm still the one who Babyface and Whitney specifically, chose me to do sitting up in my room. I'm the one. So whatever y'all got going on, I'm the one. So imagine you being the one, despite all of these obstacles, and the nigga you love get to comparing you to the light-skinned bitch that's with the fat nigga. The Banji girl, the Banji light-skinned girl that's with the fat rapper. I'm doing all of this. And while, yes, she has a voice, yes. But my voice is doing shit that other people's is not doing. I'm the good girl. I'm the wholesome. I'm the Tiffany of the blacks community right now. Tiffany being the white girl in the 80s who was popular. Even Raven Simone couldn't make it happen. Now she was over there dominating in Disney. Another one treading in her own lane. So imagine a nigga trying to cut you down and be shady to you about your voice, and you are at the top of your game. Your star is shining bright and rising. She wasn't at the top yet either. She was rising brightly, almost there. Raven is a Titan now. Yeah, for sure, but not in not she's a Titan in television. She's not a Titan in music. She's a Titan in television. Yes. She is the Black Titan of television in the 90s and early 2000s to me. Raven, as far as the young black girls, yes, absolutely. Um so imagine this overly running ass nigga trying to make her feel bad. But I think back to what somebody said about the wholesome image. I think that was the reason that, and I don't think people understand this. The wholesome image is what make motherfuckers want to conquer you. Being the good girl, being the not ran through girl, it doesn't make them want to love you and be with you. These niggas will act like that, oh, you need to act this certain way and men will respect it. No, there's certain men that will respect it and be like, oh, we got to treat her with class and da-da-da. She's a different level. But there are certain men that will look at it and say, I need to conquer it. It doesn't get you what they claim that it will get you. It will get you. This is controversial. And people don't like when you talk about it publicly, but I'm gonna talk about it. Pretty privilege. There is something. Why? And it's not that I'm not saying that it's a curse. What I'm saying is, if you have a certain level of beauty, it doesn't make it easier for you because that's not the right word. There's certain scenarios that it does make it easier for you, but if you are trying to find a partner, what that means is that there is a bigger pool of people who are attracted to you. Bullshitters and whack people. just as much as the good men. So what if, and I want y'all to think about how many good men do you think are out here? If that percentage is low, but all these others, say it's like if 1 out of 10 niggas is good, let's just say that. But 9 out of 10 niggas are attracted to me, or 8 out of niggas, however you want to do it. 7 out of 10 men are attracted to me, but only 1 out of 10 is good. How much more harder is it for me to find a good man compared to a girl who is looking for that one good man and only 3 niggas are attracted to her? Three out of the 10, one of them might be good. All 3 might be late. But her pool of people coming at her, because they're attracted, because I think everybody has somebody that's attracted to them. I think her pool of people to be able to shift through. If your goal is to find one man, it makes your pool of people smaller if you're not as attractive. But if you are an attractive girl, and I've seen it with myself, because I think I'm attractive. I think it's okay for you to think you're attractive. I have to say that because people be like, oh, you think you that girl? Yes, I think you should think you that girl too. But I've seen girls who are way more beautiful than me navigate a space where all these niggas is chasing her. And she can't tell which one is good, which one is bad, which one is just trying to fuck, which one is trying to be her husband. You can't tell because they all come into you in the way that they think is the good way. So I don't think it makes life harder. I think it just gives you, I think it's harder to filter through. It's harder to filter through because you have so much more options. It is so common for me to see 2 people that I think are unattractive find each other, and they're with each other and love each other because the options was limited and they just making it work with each other. I was going to name an example. But I ain't gonna do that. There's a popular couple that I think both of them, they're an internet couple. They're not, I wouldn't say they're celebrities, but they're internet celebrities. And the man is kind of pudgy, the wife is skinny, the man is average, and the wife is average, and they churchy. And they both look very average, and they found each other in their youth, and they've been together forever, and they are so average. I'm like, yeah, I can see them working. I can see it. I can see them working. I can see it. Yeah. Um. So yeah, I think it's quite interesting. I'm not gonna say who it is, y'all. Y'all can guess all y'all want. So, so Brandy goes into how at the time she just was in love, and she felt vulnerable and used, and like he was trying to conquer her and manipulate it. And as she got older, it started to be more and more clear that while she thought she was doing the right thing by not telling her parents, it wasn't the right thing because she thought she was young and didn't think about it. She was young and didn't think about it, and she goes into and when people were starting to talk about this episode, that episode, that chapter of the book, I didn't think that she went in as bad, as hard as she did on him. I thought that she was going to keep her Brandy, you know how Brandy has the perfect, you know, she's been media trained, and so she's good at, um, giving the right answer. She is a good, wholesome girl personality. And so in the book, I didn't know she was being. I didn't expect her to be as direct and hard on Wanya as she did, and it was like, oh, Brandy is telling the tea. You're right, she was telling the teas. Like it wasn't, it wasn't anything like clean, not clean. That's not the right language. Not clean, but it was no holding back. I felt like she was being real about the situation. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the going through my notes. I enjoyed that she was real about it and basically saying that he was trying to conquer me. He was manipulating me. Um, I like Eclipse. I like Eclipse, Brokenhearted, The Fairest of Them All. I think I like that one. I enjoyed the story about her bully, her getting friends with her bully sister that died, and then when she beat that girl with that extension cord. Or with it, what was it, some kind of rope or something? She called her out, she pulled her out, knocked on the door and got to wear her out. I was like, yes, Brand, wear it out. I thought that story was funny. I thought what I didn't feel, what I didn't get a sense, I didn't like the storytelling of her daughter being made. Her daughter and the line about the marriage and I didn't get I didn't get what I wanted to get out of that story. I didn't get what I wanted to get out of that story. It was like, girl. But I think that she was trying to save face for her daughter because that is her daughter's father. So, yeah, I didn't think she went as hard as she should have around that story. I felt like that story was like tired. It wasn't, I think she held back on that story. I needed more details about that. I actually think that she described the situation with the car accident really, really beautifully well. I think that the nuance of that was really conveyed. How she was like, they were trying to get her to talk about it in the sense of to clean up her image about it. And she was like, but because I'm a celebrity, it's gonna take away from the real victims in the situation. And she was like, it's been proven that I am not the reason for the accident. It was a 4-car pileup, and I was the 4th car behind. I wasn't the one who ran into somebody and killed them. It was somebody had an accident. I wasn't paying attention, and multiple cars got in an accident because these 2 cars got in an accident. So she had nothing to do with the accident. She just was one of the cars that hit in the pile up. she talked about the car accident, and I just thought how she talked about that was honest and beautiful. It explains the difficulty of it, where it's like, because I'm the celebrity in the scenario, everybody is going to make it about me and take away from the victim. And while it is not my fault, it's proven that it's not my fault at all. I didn't have anything to do with that. What she basically described how her trying to clean up her image about the going to public relation, and her team was trying to get her to do an interview and release statements and do all this kind of stuff about it. She felt it was selfish. She was like, I'm not gonna do that because I'm not the victim in this scenario. And for me to go on a whole campaign like I'm being mistreated by TMZ, it takes away the shine of the actual person who was harmed in the accident. And I don't want to do that. My mama and my publicist and everybody's telling me to do it so you can get your side of the story out, but just on some integrity shit, I'm not fucking doing it. And I thought that was dope. She was like, I'm not fucking doing it. I'll talk about it later, but in the moment, it feels like I'm taking my light, and pulling it away from, because now everybody is worried about what I have to do with it. Which is such a hard situation to be in, because you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Absolutely. And I thought the way she detailed all the scenario, I think it was brilliant. It was perfect. Like I said, and because all of the other scenarios and nuances was so brilliantly written, that's why I know she was holding back with the baby daddy situation, because you was beating around the bush on this, honey. There was a lot of shit that you left out, didn't talk about. And I understand that that's your baby daddy, that's your daughter's father, and so you got to keep the peace and keep the. So I get it, I understand, but she didn't give me what I needed about that. Why she was lying about being married, not why. You know why she wanted to keep her image as a good girl. I understand that. But the details around their breakup and the problematic shit that they had going on. I thought that her going crazy and having a mental breakdown, I thought she handled that with honesty and clarity with her mom. And how they had to separate. And you can't be my manager. I need you to be my mama. You can't be my manager no more. But how that put her in a vulnerable situation where now I'm getting these fucking whack ass deals because my manager isn't my mom. So now I'm having to deal with shit that I normally wouldn't have to do with, where my mama would be in the room making these tough ass decisions, having these tough ass calls with these people, and it was working for me. But now I got a new manager, new team, and I can't trust them like I did my mom. So, yeah, I thought the Wanya, the Kanye West situation pissed me the fuck off. He was a fucking bully, and it pissed me off. I hate how they bullied her because she didn't have her mama in the situation, and it was so shady. The Kanye West situation, I wanted to fight Kanye. Yeah. Yeah, he was on his rise, and she wasn't a new artist. She was an artist who was trying to come back, with a new hot song. Because while this is another thing about, I don't want to say revisionist history, but while Full Moon, there's just certain albums there's certain projects that people love, but they weren't a commercial success. And that's what um she talked about double platinum in the movie, but it wasn't any tea. She just was she talked about it in the sense of Diana Ross teaching her a lesson about how to prioritize her family. But Diana Ross said, baby, y'all gonna have to come to me. I live in New York. So if y'all want to do this movie, we need to shoot just somewhere in New York. I know y'all live in California, but baby, if you want me in the movie, because I have to be where my kids are, taking care of them. And my grandbabies and my family and all my things. So if you want me in the movie, this is what it is. And so in that moment, she said she taught Brandy about just about how to prioritize your life. Like you got to prioritize your family, even within this industry. And you get what I'm saying? You get to a point where you are at a certain level of success. You can now when you was younger, you just grind, cool. But when you get to a certain level, it's time to be like, okay, baby, what's your priorities? Because you can't keep blaming it on grind and music and I gotta do this, gotta do this. No, you just don't give a fuck about your family. Cause you ain't like thirsty broke like you was back then. You a whole different situation now. So that's what that basically the lesson that situation happened with her. Yeah. So I thought it was a great book. So make sure you check it out. I usually have a link to Audible in my description. It might be there. I don't know, but check down there. I think it'll give you a little discount or a code or something. I don't know. All right, next. Where are we at? What on time? Where's my time? They moved my time somewhere. Oh, okay. I see it. Oh, it's so good. I enjoyed it. I loved it from start to finish. I didn't get bored at any of the spots. She even told the tea about Thea, her not getting along with Thea, and how that was a situation. And I thought that was a good. There was no story that I felt was boring, except for the baby daddy. um, even the dude, he wasn't a. Well, I guess is he hurt her hand, like not abusing her, but he kind of got physical with her and hurt her hand, and her mama had to come and get her out of the situation. It was but she spilled some tea that I didn't know about her life, so make sure y'all check it out. And she spilled her some. Now I want to say tea. It wasn't hot tea, but she really goes into a lot of detail about Ray J's relationship, her and Ray J's relationship, in regards to how when they were growing up. Ray J was her best friend growing up. Like that was her nigga. Um, and so I love how she kind of celebrate that and she fought to have that song about him in her album and just kind of how some of the shifts started to happen with them. I loved it. All right. So let me see what else. All right. So let's talk about um another documentary on Netflix. So I am fascinated. Every documentary that has come out about them people, them the Latter Day Saint community, the federal, what is the FDLS community, any kind of any motherfucking any documentary about them, I'm watching it because it is those women are so fascinating to me. Like they are born in a bubble. They are a perfect example of how where you are born, the vagina that you come out of can really steer your whole life. whatever, whether you were born from a Muslim woman and how she's raised, from it's so fucking like, wow. It is one of the reasons why when people ask me my religion and I was younger, I would say agnostic, because I just didn't know, because that was such a triggering idea for me, that the fact that you were born to this woman is the reason why you believe what you believe, making me believe that none of this shit is fucking real, any of this shit. And it's just in these documentaries about these type of people, it always fascinates me. Anyway, so this new Netflix documentary on Netflix is called The False Prophet. It dives into the world of this particular guy named Sam Bateman, a figure within the Latter-day Saints community. It's like a really isolated community. So when we say Mormons, this is one of the, you know how it's different sectors of Christianity? There's different sectors, more extreme and less extreme, of Mormons. And so them Latter-day Saint people. And so them type of people, like in Utah and Arizona and that whole area of the country, that western that area. And so this particular group of people live in a particular town, and they all are in a community practicing a religion based in Mormonism, based in all of that kind of shit. And so what has happened? So the background of, in the past, there has been an old white man, of course. There's an old white man named Warren. Was his daddy named Warren? I don't know. So think about 3 generations of dudes. So the older man, old, he, let's call him John, just for the sake of no confusion. I know the middle person is Warren, but John is old. Not the one in prison. His daddy. Was his name Warren too? The first prophet. What was his name? What was his name on the what was the Warren's daddy's name? Was he Warren too? Anyway, so we gonna call him John for the sake of confusing. If y'all can look it up, look it up. So John is old. John, when we're talking about we talk about, I don't know what era he come from, but he old. His name was Warren too. Let me look it up while I'm sitting here. Okay, Google. What's the name of the Mormon guy that went to prison? The LDS guy that went to prison. Warren something.
The man you are thinking of is Warren Jeffs. He is the leader of the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, FLDS. In 2011, he was convicted of sexual assault involving 2 girls, ages 12 and 15, and is currently serving a life sentence in a Texas prison.
What was his father's name?
His father was Rulon Jeffs.
Okay. Rulon Jeffs. Thank you. So, great. Rulon. So, Rulon Jeffs convinced these people. Got it? So, Rulon Jeffs convinced these people that he was a prophet of God on earth. So, what Christians think Jesus was, who died and came back, was a prophet. Just like at the time of Jesus, Jesus was saying he was a prophet, and people believed that he was a prophet. This is the same thing happening in our era. This guy is saying that he is a prophet of God. A part of the culture is he gets to have all the wives. So grown men in this culture are giving their young daughters to this old ass man, Rulon, as his wives. And to them, that is an honor to them, for their daughter to be the wives of the prophet. Clock this T. This is their religion. You may be thinking it's crazy, but that's why I just compared it to Jesus. It's the situation. Now, Jesus wasn't doing what he doing, but I'm giving you the scenario that somebody said that they were prophet and people believe them. Okay? Just because you don't believe it, take yourself out of it. Somebody believe them. Just like of them disciples, them 12, how was it 12? Which ones wasn't, whatever how many, was it 12 of the disciples? 12 of them niggas believed it, that Jesus was the Messiah, Same thing. There's a group in Arizona, Utah, I can't remember exactly where. They own a town. They own the whole town. And in their culture, this one man was the prophet of God. And if you have a daughter and he like her underage, and he says, I want to marry her, to you as a man in this religion, that is an honor for you. So giving your daughter to him to be his wife is a good thing. And you are raised in this culture. This ain't you from somewhere else and coming in. Now, does that happen? Sure. Very rarely. But you raised in this culture to believe this religion. So, Roland, there's a whole documentary on this too, of Warren Jeffs. So check that out. I think it's on Netflix too, but maybe on HBO. Anyway, Roland Jeffs dies. So remember, this is a prophet that has now died because he got so old, because humans die. He had been lying and saying that he wasn't going to die because he's a prophet of God. I'm not dying. But he gets old and he dies because you're not a motherfucking prophet of God. You die, nigga. Humans die. So his son, Warren, they have built this empire. Daddy Roland has built this empire of power. His son takes over the role and says, I am my father reincarnated. His spirit has taken over me, and I now am the prophet. Now, some people were side-eyeing, but most people was not. Some people were side-eyeing. The regime switched over to Warren Jeffs, but the lifestyle didn't change. It started to change a little bit because he started to get a little greedy and weird. Now, mind you, it's not just the daughters. It is money. It is everything. So they're building houses and structures and temples for this man. The women are coming to live with him. The men are giving their money and their daughters. So I want you to get the culture. There is a king, a prophet. That's how they live in. This is their world. So Jeff, now mind you, we still live in America. We still live in the state that they live in. And so there are certain things that are illegal. You being married to multiple people is illegal. Having sex with minors is illegal. It's the law of the land. And so they know to hide the marriages of the wife, of the young babies. They know to hide the marriages of the minors. They know to hide that they're having sex with the minors. They know this. But it was a whole investigation happened. Somebody infiltrated, investigated, found recordings, found videos, found letters, found journals, found all kinds of stuff. It was a whole thing, blew it all up. And so Warren goes to jail for molesting the little girls. Warren goes to jail. I'm giving you the backstory of the documentary. Warren goes to jail. So while Warren is in jail, He's not dead, and he's still the prophet. This is the crazy part. Because he put himself up as a prophet, this leads them to believe that this is the world, the devil, up against him. And so they still believe he is the prophet, but this is how the devil is testing him and testing them as followers of this religion. Now, mind you, for us, that shit's crazy as hell. But if you were born into this religion thinking that this is the messenger of God, you were born into it, taught from the time you came out of the womb, this is what you were taught, that this is the prophet, the messenger of God. Clock, 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 clock. To us, it sounds crazy. Okay? It sounds like, why y'all listen to these crazy ass men? What? These men are fucking narcissistic weirdos. But you got to understand, Warren was born into it too. So I don't want you to clock that. This ain't some manipulative mastermind that made something up. He was born into it too. His father was the first one. Do you see what I'm saying? Y'all clocking that T. So Warren believes it too. So now that his dad, and it's the whole community. And if you try to not follow the rules, you get kicked out. Do you know how important having a community is to people? People kill themselves by losing whole communities. Community and being a feeling is the support and social importance of community is, for some people, is like life or death. Anyway, so Warren was born into it too. So he was fully invested in the belief that now my father has died, I am now become the prophet. But then he gets locked up. So his people is like, yo, you locked up. So what we got to we trying to we still got to listen to him. And so Warren, being the narcissistic prophet nigga that he is, he tells them, y'all are not supposed to get married to nobody. I'm the prophet and I'm telling you this. They didn't have direction, right? But his direction was stop all the marriages, stop all the babies, stop having sex, everybody. Now imagine telling a city full of human beings, men and women, your prophet telling you to not have sex and to stop getting married. Y'all on the outs, he's in prison. What you think is going to happen? There's going to be some devout ones who listen. And so because of that, yes, they started losing their homes. Their way of life started to shift. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Now, to me, but this is me on the outside looking in. So this ain't even relevant because I can't talk about it on the inside. But to me, on the outside looking in, I would have been like, that's my first clue that this is on some bullshit. I would be ready to go. But if this is all you know, where do you go? What do you do? If your whole family is into this shit and they all in this town, you ain't got nowhere to go, and you've been taught that the world outside of this is wicked, full of wickedness. Rapers, murderers, niggas, because you know they racist. Deeply racist. It's embedded in their literature to not like us. So clock that T. Which is why I be kind of like, that's what y'all get. Because I know they're racist. I know they be saying bad shit about black folks in them little shacks they live in. But anyway, So he tells them, no, y'all can't have sex and y'all can't get married no more. So there's gonna be some devout, especially the women. This is how annoying and fucking crazy it is for the women, because it be the women that be holding these structures together. You this Aren't we demons in their scriptures? Something like that. It be the women that be holding these religious structures together, from Islam, from American based Christianity, for this shit, any of these, that this shit, it be the women. Because if the women just stopped, this shit would crumble. So anyway, all right. So Daddy Roland dies. Warren takes the mantle. Warren get caught up in charges, goes to prison. He is in there going through it. And so he tells them not to have babies no more, not to stop having sex. The prophet is telling you to stop having sex and stop getting married. So nobody can get married. So remind you, he's been in jail for 8 years. So there are people who has grown up in this community who can't find partners, who can't get married, who can't have sex. Now, this brings me to soaking. Have y'all ever heard of soaking? Child, these people are crazy. Like it's just certain things that I'm like, who told y'all this, y'all? Why do y'all believe this? If you don't know what soaking is, so this is about not having sex and being abstinence. Soaking, it had to be a nigga that come up with this dumb shit. Soaking is where, in order for you to not have sex, I can't explain it because I'm not a part of the culture. But basically, they take, correct me if I'm wrong, if y'all know about it. The teenagers will get on top of the girl, put their penis in the vagina, but you don't hump. You're soaking your dick in the pussy, basically. That's why they call it soaking. You put your dick in the pussy, but you don't hump, because you humping makes it sex, I guess. And it's so. And then another situation I heard about, then your friends shake the bed. So you're not the person humping. The person shakes the bed, and it makes your body move up and down while you're soaking. Crazy. 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 So anyway, imagine that their prophet tells them that they can have sex. So he been in prison, locked up, and they haven't been having sex and being able to get married. So it comes to a point. Y'all might as well fuck if you're about to do all that. That's what I said. I don't get it. Oh, the Saints are freaks. Child, that's some ridiculous shit if I ever heard ridiculous. It is crazy. Like, look it up. Like, Google it. And not just Google it. Google it and look up videos of them talking about it. Soaking. It is crazy. So these are the type of people that do shit like this. So I'm sure tons of soaking was happening while he done told them they can't have sex. So of course, when you have people, this man is in prison, da 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 da. Diamond, I have to ask, is this your first time hearing about this? No, I'm telling you. I've been hearing about this. I'm telling you what I know about these people, what I've heard about it. I've been heard about it. But the basics of it, that's what it is. But right, can you imagine your prophet say you can't have sex? Oh, baby, they was soaking down, soaking wet, baby, soaking down. So he's in prison for years. And so it's like, oh, so ain't nobody having no babies. And your religion has, before him going to prison, your religion was you should have a baby once every year. Like that was the tradition. If you marry once every year, you should be having babies. Like you should be a puppy mill. So he went cold. So the dude who was in prison, he stopped talking to them. So he started to have a mental decline because he's old. He was already old. So he starts to have a mental decline and he stopped contacting the people outside of the prison. So they like, what's going on? Is he dead? And so there started to be a rumor that he actually is dead in there. And they just haven't, but he's not dead. He's on a mental decline. And so they start having a rumor that he's really dead. So of course, men being men, they're going to twist the rules, just like Warren did about his daddy, twisting the rules to benefit him. Now I'm the prophet, even though that's not what was said. What was said was his daddy was going to not die. There was no succession plan, but he was the more manipulative of the sons. And so he put himself in the scenario. So now some other man, Sam Bateman, who this documentary is about, has come up and he's using social media to convince people that he is now the new prophet, and people are believing them because they need a new prophet because the old prophet is gone. So their religion doesn't work without the prophet. So we need to make something shake because we need to have babies. We need to fuck because we human and that's natural. And so when he come along, he was this loser dude, but he started getting wives. He started getting married. And everybody was like, how this nigga getting married when the prophet told us not to get married? So how he getting married? And they start seeing him coming up with different young ass wives where they like, what's going on? We know these girls. How they become your wife? How you get married? That's they not following the prophet. What's going on? So basically, he convinced these two men, these other losers, he convinced these two men that he is the new prophet. Both of these niggas all of these niggas sound retarded. Like if you listen to these motherfuckers, they all sound retarded to me. They sound like inbred retarded motherfuckers. The Hills Have Eyes meets Handmaid's Tale. But he convinced these two dudes that he's the prophet. And so they start giving him their daughters. They start giving him their money. Because one thing they're going to do is they're going to have a job and a business and take care of their kids and wives. I don't want to be anti-black in this moment, but they going to get a job and a business and take care of their children and their wives. They crazy, but they ain't that crazy. They don't abandon their children. They take care of them. They take care of them. They going to have a job. They going to have a business, and they going to take care of their wives. No matter how many they got, they going to have a house for them. They going to have food for them. They going to take care of them. And they going to be making money. They going to be a provider. A good patriarch is going to be a good provider. What I don't like is you niggas that want patriarchal benefits but don't do the patriarchal shit, niggas. You want the wife to stay at home barefoot having babies and sucking and fucking you, but you don't want to go out and get a job. You want to do 50-50. Them wives ain't doing 50-50. They at home having babies every year, taking care of the house with their sister wives. You want that life, but you don't want to provide like the crazies do. Anyway, that's a whole other subject. Mormons be getting jobs. Always got a check coming in, taking care of them families. House be big. So here comes the lowest in the community, and he rode in with them wives on the trailer cart, literally. And they start giving him monies, and guess what this nigga started doing? Buying designer jackets, buying Bentleys. He had 3 Bentleys with their money. That's how much coin they had. 3 Bentleys with their money, with their wives. So this outsider, this woman who was one of them that got out, not in their culture, but in another sector. Her husband was selling her on the black market because the whole rule of women is you don't get to heaven but through a man and your obedience to a man. That's their whole thing. You cannot get to heaven. You cannot get to God unless you get it through being a good wife, good obedient wife, having babies. That is your job, to take care of your man and your babies. That is what a good woman is, and you don't get to heaven except through that. That white leather jacket, baby, designer, tailored. Baby, when he bust that out, you knew he thought he was the nigga, the prophet. He knew. Bentleys and white leather. Baby, gag me. So this woman who was in another sector of that moves to the town, figures something is going wrong, and she starts recording because her husband, who also looks like a weirdo, but her husband is a producer, like a Hollywood producer or whatever, and so he has the equipment, and they start recording and interviewing these people and seeing what was up, like what's going down. And so one of the wives of the husbands that was giving her daughters away started to feel some kind of way because she was like, I know this nigga ain't the prophet. Bitch, you should have been thinking about that, about Warren. You should have been thinking, but she was young. She old now, but when she was young, she didn't know. But you should have been having that realization about Warren. When Roland died, you should have been out of there, but you stayed. And so now a new nigga comes, Sam, and say he the prophet. Now that Warren gone, and you knew something was up. Your spidey senses was going off. Like, what is going on? What's happening? I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what's happening here. This is crazy. Oh, they be trick. Oh, baby, don't think you can't get them to be tricks. Them thinking we curse just mean they think we got good devil pussy. Don't think that they don't be outplaying. It's like the Hasidic Jews in New York. When you go to New York and you don't see a Hasidic Jew client, baby, your ass wasn't good enough, baby. Because every time I went to New York, one of them swirly smart, what's the hat with the fur around it? The shrapnel. I don't know how to pronounce that word, that Jewish word. That hat with the fur, circle fur, honey, and with them little spiral rings right here. Them niggas would come to me and pay me top dollar, baby. They freaks. Don't think that they not doing nothing, child, just because they in them sectors. Even when you go to Pennsylvania, them Amish niggas. No, I'm talking. No, it starts with an S and ends with an L. It's the fur hat that looks like a circle. It's like a bunch of fur in a circle that the Hasidic Jews be wearing. Not the black one, the fur one. What's the hat that the Hasidic Jews be wearing that's fur and circular?
The circular fur hat worn by Hasidic Jewish men is called a shtreimel, and is typically worn on Shabbat and holidays. It's usually made from sable or foxtails and is worn over a kippah.
I actually want one of these. I told my friends I should get one. That's sickening. I told my friends I want one, but I want it to be red fur. They said that was bad. I'm like, I'm not gonna wear it like I'm gonna wear it in a more fashionable way. But imagine me being in one of these and it's red. That is sickening. I'll live for that. It's SHTREIMEL. I love that. Ain't that sickening? Phyllis Hammer. And would that be love? I don't understand. I wouldn't make it like super obvious that I ain't gonna have them swirly things. I just have the hat and the regular clothes. They wouldn't know that that's the inspiration. And I ain't got no Hasidic Jews that live around me anyway to be even offended by that. So is that rude? I don't know. I don't know if that's problematic, but my friend said it would have been problematic, so I didn't do it. But I want a red one. If somebody can buy me one, please. So I can be like, honey, my friend bought me this and I don't want to be rude and not wear it. I looked for one. They were quite pricey though, so I didn't want to spend my coin at the time. But if I get rich, I'm getting me a red one made. Um I wanted to look like that though. That swirl, it looked like a fucking hair tornado. They get Gaza, we get the hats. Period. um. So anyway, the lady comes in and she infiltrates and she finally gets the woman, the older wife, to um what is it? Confide in her. And so she finally get to figure out how can I get these girls out of this situation, because she's realizing that he's having sex with the babies. It's different when you got the adult girls. Great, they can get married who they want, but when you having sex with the babies, the 9-year-olds and the 10-year-olds that's when it gets like, girl, y'all doing too damn much. You're doing too much. So because they don't know no better. And so yeah, it's a whole thing. And in my brain, when I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, I'm fascinated about it because this is religious manipulation. This is I have to feel sorry for them, but then I'm like, this is the same thing. When I see girls like Kiara Sheard, when I see people who perform black churchiness in a particular way, when people use the Bible to justify something that they want to do, when people how easy it is to twist and turn for or against when it's convenient. Men how men maneuver religion to manipulate women, how financially it makes you vulnerable to leave or not leave, even if your brain starts to not trust it and not believe it. You're so financially imprisoned that you can't go anywhere, that you can't do anything, go anywhere, and get out if you did want help. And you've been, not only have you been taught that outside people can't be trusted, you're taught that you can't get to heaven without men. Do you see what I'm saying? So everything about your mindset from birth, and we ain't talking about you're coming into it. We're talking about from birth. You don't know any other way of life. How do you get out of that? Some of them don't want to. And then think about the comfort of it. Like, think about you're shaking up your whole life. They didn't even understand how the law worked. Right. It's a certain level of naivety and even thinking about the anger that he was in, that they were, some of them were like angry about them getting him locked up. They were like, they was ready to go to war with the guns. Remember, if you watch the documentary, he was training them with guns to be able to protect themselves. He convinced them to go get the kids from the group home and take them away all the way up to Seattle. Like, it was a whole situation. And in my brain, I'm like, how ugly would that be? Like, how ugly could this type of situation and brain control turn? We've seen situations like that. Look at Charles Manson and how he was having them women do crazy shit. It was like, oh my God, I was thinking how ugly this could be. Because Warren is in prison telling them not to have sex, telling them not to get married. But what if Sam goes to jail and he militarizes them? Kill these motherfuckers. These are there against the the religion. Get your guns and go to this person's house and kill them. Go to this like, this is the person who is trying to keep me in here. It's so many layers to this. And then I was thinking about, in while I was watching the documentary, I was thinking about, she kept going to the police, and I'm like, you know, they own the town, and most of the police in this town are from this religion. So you trying to get them to do something about it, and they men? Can you trust that? Sidebar, kind of akin to how some find it hard to leave their families over transitioning. Explain a little bit more. That's why they told on her. Yeah. The well, they didn't tell on her. The kid had they ripped up the paper and the kid had put it together. She was odd to me as well. Which one? When you say she, who? The one that would uncovered everything? I think she was odd in the quirky way. But I think it's, I don't want to be overgeneralizing, but when people are raised in cultures like that, their brain, I feel like their brain doesn't get out of childhood sometimes in certain aspects of them. So think about Michael Jackson with Jehovah Witness. When you are not exposed, to me, when you not exposed to the world, sometimes you grow up with a childish sensibility, even if you grow into an adult, sometimes your sensibilities still be childish. That's why he created Neverland. That's why I don't believe he's not a pedophile. I think that's a part. I know people don't want to not believe that shit, but I believe it. I think he was. I think that he had a weird relationship with kids. Um and I think it you sometimes they take their sensibilities and put it in an adult body. And I think that's that weirdness that you see in her. And I see that in a lot of people who were raised in that kind of closed off, sheltered um world. And when they get out of that shit, it'd be like, oh, but they still be trying to create that kind of childish, that kind of that kind of we're talking about a documentary on the Mormons. That kind of it's like her playing with the Muppets and her playing with the it's Mr. Rogers and I don't think it's always unhealthy. I don't think it always is unhealthy. Um but I do think it warps and I don't want to say warps. That's not the right language. Warps. I do think that I see very common childish sensibilities where their development doesn't get past a certain level. Or interest, the interest, how they interest. Um, it don't turn into big world things. So I think that's why you see her being weird too. That kind of quirky, but it also I think it always there's always a sense of how can I explain this? But even in like gender expression, so everybody has a version of that. For example, so excuse me. So think about who we talking about. We talking about these fundamentalist people. When they dressing in hand sewn, handmade dresses, very modest, nothing showing. Very plain Jane, little house on the prairie, boring. When you get out in the free world, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do the opposite of plain Jane. Whatever in your culture is the status quo, whatever that is, how you express yourself is gonna be go against that. I think. And I can think it shows up in because think about I know everybody is not a monolith. I know that. But I usually can tell a queer woman by how she dress. Because I can tell a black woman who loves her blackness by how she dress. Because there is usually a backlash against the status quo. I do not. They do be good and made good though. I do not want any of them. Um, I usually is and this is not a direct science, but I can usually tell a person is queer by how they dress. It's a certain It's a certain intentional misalignment with whatever the boring ass status quo is. And so if you pay attention to her, she was raised in that, so her against it. She watch. It's obvious she gonna have some blonde hair and pink boots. Do you see what I'm saying? She gonna be running around in bright, colorful, girly dresses. The dresses still gives you her girlhood. Do you see what I'm saying? But now she's free, and so she can be in the curly, floral, pink boots, still modest because you don't get out of that. Pink everything, still girly, but it's a little bit more free. It still aligns a little bit, but it's more free and controlled. I see it even in myself. I see it even in myself. So I was raised in a Kojic church. And so I was raised in a Kojic church, and I also was raised by pro-black people. And so how I dress is going to be, it's going to look a certain way that is very classy church lady. But also, you gonna know I'm black. I'm gonna dress like a black woman. It's gonna uh I'm gonna look like my style is I'm gonna look like a black woman church lady that I get fucked though. You know I ain't a virgin. You know somebody beating this cat up. I'm a little, I'm churchy, but honey, I backslide a little bit. It's gonna be it's gonna be tight. It's the titties gonna be out. Titties gonna be booed up sometimes. My rule is if your titties is out, your ass and legs ain't out. If your ass and legs is out, your titties is covered up. That's how I rationalize my upbringing and what I think is feminine and girly. Um I don't feel dressed up if I don't got good undergarments on. Now I ain't gotta be in the undergarments all the time. I can go out in a sundress and without no drawers and no bra on. I can do that. But I don't feel that's casual. I don't feel dressed up if I don't have a nice bra and panties on. Panties and girdle or whatever. The things that tighten it together and everything is sitting up and not jiggling. I don't feel dressed up if it's jiggling and moving around and not up. I need to feel dressed up. When I need to feel dressed up, I need a nice undergarments on. That's what I feel. And I know that comes from church. If I ain't snatched, I ain't feeling dressed up, right? I think that's what you mean. If you ain't snatched, or you mean if you snatched, you ain't feeling dressed up. I know if I ain't snatched, I don't feel dressed up, honey. That's for me. So I think another thing, I don't like too bangy. I don't like too bangy. Like you ain't never gonna see me with like braids with color in them. So braids feels black enough for me to like it, but not hood enough for me not to like it. So my braids, if it's a natural color, like I have some red or a little blonde streaks, da 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 da. Da. Yes, but braids with colors and shit in them, you ain't never gonna see me with that. I feel ghetto as hell. You never gonna see me with blue, green, purple. I feel ghetto and shit like that. I judge myself on stuff like that. I can't do it. A 27 piece. You ain't never gonna see me with a 27 piece on. Every time I have tried, I felt super uncomfortable. I felt super bangy. And there's a certain of anti it's not anti-black, it is a classist thing. Anti-black and a classist thing. It's something in me, deep core in me, that feels uncomfortable with myself. I don't treat other people bad about it, but it feels uncomfortable with myself. It feels weird. Braids, any braids with color, I'm not doing. Um, any braids with color, like colors that are not natural. In that there's a certain level color. So like I like red hair, but I only like a certain color. I like the orangey copper red. The where's my phone? That burgundy red. Ooh, no ma'am. I feel bangy. What's that red? The burgundy red color on black hair. This
You can achieve a burgundy red color on
shut
black
up.
hair without bleach using
Shut
high
up.
lift magenta
I don't
dyes.
want that. That's not what I'm asking you, bitch. This color right here. This color right here. You'll never see me in that color. It probably will look good. In certain styles, I bet it look good. But for me, that 99J, that right there, hair like that, you'll never see me in stuff like that. I've tried it just to see if it's good for me. But for me, I feel so bangy. Anything like this, anything like that, never. Stuff like that, if you see me doing it, I'm just trying it and seeing it. But I be feeling ghetto. I be feeling too ghetto. Now I might do something like, nah, probably not. Probably not. I kind of like that, but probably not. Anything that's that color, I don't be liking. I like a more copper red. Copper red on black hair. Y'all know ginger. Y'all know my color. My color. My normal color. I love a I love you know, a copper, a brownie, red, orange, copper, brown, reddish, oranges. You know, fish about it. Real that color, I love that. That color that what's her name? Keke Palmer just started to do recently. That color, that is sickening. I love that. That's love. Look how fire that is. That color, oh my god. This color is fire. I love that. This is my favorite hair color. So, but that's why I have the big red curly because that's my favorite color. That's my favorite hair color. Now I don't always like this kind of brown. This kind of brown be making me look too washed out. When it's kind of get too brown, it needs to be more on the warmer side. When it gets too blondie browny, I don't be liking it. Yeah, I love this. I love the Rihanna. I tried the Rihanna red. Let me look at the Rihanna red. Um, Rihanna's red hair era. Yeah, Rihanna's red hair era was. That's when I tried it, and I felt Benji. She looked good in it. I liked it on her, especially in that na na. What's my name? Na na. What's my name? I liked it. I liked it on a certain level, but when I was trying it, thinking that, oh, you can see what it looked like on you, I was like, nah, it's given ghetto. It needs to be a different tone for me. Her colorist is Ursula. Wait, whose colorist are you talking about? Rihanna's, that's Ursula. I don't know who Keke Palmer's colorist is. If you talk about Keke Palmer, but Rihanna's, her name is Ursula. I know her. I've been following her for years. Big curly red is always good. Yeah, I love my orangey copper curly red. Mm. Back to fragrance. Normally when people put fragrance, they put it right here. Their pressure points, like right here on your chest, kind of behind the knee or in your thighs or whatever. If you know you're going to be in a small space with people, and this is especially if you are somebody who talks with your hands, it's going to change the game for you. Keep some in your purse and rub it in your hands. First of all, your hands is always moving. So you're going to be like, girl, da, 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 and it's going to be pushing that scent to everybody you talk to. So if you somebody who's scared of scent, don't do this. But if you somebody who like motherfuckers to smell you, and oh my God, you put your hand on that chest. Soon as you, like, say you're talking to a man and you put your hand on his chest being flirty, that wind from your hand going his chest is gonna blow up to his nose. Now, this is the part of me that is the pick me. It comes out in me. It also is the old courtesan, the old hoe in me. I used to do stuff in order to influence addiction to me. So for example, let me give things. It's a pageantry interview cheat code. Yes, you put your hand on the chest, you shake their hand, your scent, they're gonna smell your scent on their hand. You put your hand on the chest. Like right now, I put my hand on my own chest, and the wind from my hand is bringing the scent up against my nose. So imagine if I'm talking to a man and I put my hand on his chest, just flirty, like, you so boy, you so silly, da 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 da. Or my hand, you ain't got to go fast, it's gonna be slow. So you just put it on the chest. That small little breeze of wind is going to give the scent, whatever the scent that you put on your hand. So spray it on your hand. So I remember when I was an escort, it's certain things I used to do. So anytime I see a client, I put it's two things that I do to make the experience more addictive. Does this always work? No, but it works a lot. So my regular clients, I usually put a very popular person's greatest hits albums on. So whatever, and I do it every time they come. So mine used to be like Anita Baker because they're very popular and it's really, really common. So what happens is if you put that music on that's really popular, like a greatest hits album, not just some random album, greatest hits because it's all their hits. When that song comes on in the elevator, at the grocery store, whenever that popular song comes on, they're going to think about you. If that's what they hear during that amazing sexual experience that you give them, we're in a whole different area topic. But I just wanted to say this. What if that's what that song, if you play that every time you see them, that song becomes associated with you. That's one strategy. So a really popular person that, think about a song that's randomly playing. That is so Pisces coded. Absolutely. So that's one thing. So that's one strategy. The other strategy is whatever the hot song is popular on the top 40. Like whatever the hot new song is, play that if it's sexy, not some stupid shit. Something, whatever the hot new sexy. So like right now, Folded. Not right now, but last year, Folded was the big song. When it was coming up and being hot, that's the song you put on for your clients, because every time that fucking song plays, they're going to think about you because you gave them this amazing experience while that song was playing. And so every time that song is playing, they're going to be thinking like, damn, I was nutting when she was singing that. So that's the strategy. So it would be that strategy. And you do not know how many times men have come and said, hey, I was thinking about you. That song came on that you was playing. Da 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 da. What you doing? Da 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 da. It's really something. So, music and smell. Smell is more connected to your memory than any of your other senses, even your eyes. Smell is more connected to your memory scientifically than even your eyes. And so smell, like I know strippers who hate Japanese cherry blossom because that's such a stripper smell now because it was so popular to spray on you at the strip club. Japanese cherry blossom from Bath and Body Works. And so they don't like it because it reminds them of their time working in a strip club. It's certain smells. Think about you and smells that remind you of your childhood. I can run across smells that reminds me of my elementary school because they use the same either cleaner or something. What else? Like smells is something that really is connected to your memory. So picking a smell that's common enough for them to run into, but not common where it's common, like, and they can already have memory set to it. Does that make sense? Like, you don't, this is a stupid example because who would do this? But you get what I'm saying, like Pledge. Like everybody know what Pledge smell like. So when I smell Pledge and bleach and other kind of cleaning shit, Comet, we talked about that a couple of videos ago. When I smell that shit, them smells, whatever they use in those stuff, it reminds me of cleaning. It reminds me of my mom. It reminds me of cleaning. It is not a sexy smell. So when people use those kind of notes in in fragrances, I'd be like, that smells like cleaning. Even if it smells good, it smells like cleaning. Similar to like baby powder. Like baby powder, powdery scents is good, but the actual baby powder smell, that has a negative connotation to me. Not negative, not negative. No, not negative. It definitely doesn't have a sexy connotation to me. It doesn't feel sexy. It feels, when I think about baby powder, I think about my little brothers throwing up. I think about me changing their diapers, and I gotta smell shit, and then I gotta clean them, and then I gotta clean them, and then put baby powder on them. So baby powder and shit is connected in my memory. So I don't feel any kind of sexiness with baby powder. That's the smell of baby powder. Same thing with y'all remember the pink baby lotion in the pink bottle from the 80s? The Johnson & Johnson pink bottle. When I smell that, it reminds me, it's good memories, but it reminds me of good memories of babies, like good memories. Because the way you keep a baby quiet is you feed them and you clean them. You feed them, clean them, and burp them. Make sure that they are not constipated and burpy, and they're not hungry and they're not sleepy. So an easy way to get the baby to sleep through the night is to bathe them, get them clean. You feed them, bathe them, and burp them so they're not they don't get all the air and congested. So you burp them and make sure they're good, and then they will sleep. And so smells like that are associated with babies. It's not sexy. So when I smell scents that are that a scent like that would be too common. Don't use something like that. You don't want to use something that's super, super rare, because then they're never gonna smell it out in the world. You need to pick something that's common enough for them to be able to smell it out in the world and think of you, but uncommon enough to where it doesn't have other memories associated with it. Does that make sense? Y'all get what I'm saying? You don't want it to be super rare, because if it's super rare and unique to you and no, they're not going to smell it anywhere else, that's not going to make them come back to you. Does that make sense? It's not going to make them come back when they get the memory triggered from something else out in the world. So you want it to be common but uncommon. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, I think Angel was a good one. Now Angel is too common now, but it used to be, when Terry Muglier's Angel come out, it used to be so unique, but common enough to make people think of. That was one that people would say, "Oh, I smelled this, and it smelled like you," and it was Angel, because that's the very first luxury fragrance that I stole. And was using it because I loved Angel at the time when I was like 17, 18, when Terry Mugler came out with it. Popcorn, pine, vanilla reminds me of Disney. Popcorn reminds me of the movies. I didn't realize that the pump that through the park to make you feel the experience through smells. Yeah, they do. Pine and vanilla. Pine, it depends on what kind of pine. Like if we're talking about pine saw, like that kind of pine, that manufactured pine, that reminds me of cleaning. But pine, like pine needles, reminds me of church, because Christ Church, Deja, in Indianapolis, do you remember they were on the church was on the golf course, and so all the golf course was just the green grass and the pine trees all over there on Grandview Road. So all those pine trees over there, when we would come to church and come out of the church van, it smelled like all them fucking pine trees. So natural pines reminds me of church. So I don't think sexy at all with pine. I be thinking church lady. Church. I didn't know that about Disney. Yeah, they will they pump those smells into your, it's same thing with bread, like certain bread stores will pump, bakeries will pump bread. this is real. They will do it like in France. They intentionally will blow the bread smell out of their store so you know the fresh bread is baking and you can come get it. It was a sales tactic for many, 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 many centuries. Anyway, yes, I'm just saying that because I used to do so much to make me feel to make me be thought about. And I actually had to get out of doing it because it was such a whole tactic. It was such a whole trying to make niggas want to come back. And I've had clients for decades. It was work. I still have clients to this day that I have been seeing since 2006. Like this is 20. Let me text Ken. Like, this is our 20-year anniversary. Because I started messing with Ken in 2006. This is 2026, baby. And I've been dealing with him. So it works. It be working. And I got like a few of them kind of clients. It's why Jimmy John won't let their employees bring outside food into the store for lunch. I can see that. All right, last but not least. So watch that documentary. It is called The False Prophet on Netflix. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about, this is recent news. This happened yesterday or today. I can't remember exactly when it happened. But Afrikan Bambaataa. So hip hop pioneer Afrikan Bambaataa, born Lance Taylor, helped shape the culture in the earliest days of hip hop. But everybody is putting their rest in peace pose. But I'm a bitch who don't want y'all to forget. When these motherfuckers are gross pedophiles, we need to be calling them out. We don't need to be venerating them. His legacy has been overshadowed by his sexual abuse. In 2016, smack dab in the Me Too movement, because the women was given the men room to tell their stories because the Me Too movement was strong 10 years ago. The men start coming out of the woodworks beginning in 2016. Multiple men came forward accusing him of molesting them when they were young, back for decades, like dating back in the 80s, 90s. Minors. And so this has been a Bronx community legend. Like, apparently many people in the Bronx knew about this going on. Now, he denied it at the time, but the accusations kept getting bigger and bigger with more and more evidence. And so it got to the point where his position of leadership in the Universal Zulu Nation, it prompted them to kick him out and make him resign, and then put out a public apology from the organization, because it started to be undeniable with the evidence. People were presenting them evidence, and it was like, oh, this nigga was out here raping young men. Boys, not girls, boys. In later years, civil lawsuits added to the further scrutinies, including a case involving a 12-year-old that resulted in a default judgment against him after he failed to respond in court. While no criminal charges was brought to him, the allegations remained significant and a controversial part of his legacy. He ended up having to leave New York and move to Pennsylvania. So, niggas, a pedophile is dead. And I am somebody who I don't get my foot off these niggas' neck. When I see certain people that haven't been held accountable to my liking about their bullshit, I always in the comments, on the posts, wherever, I always remind people, baby, good. The children are safe, baby. He's dead. The children are safe. So no more molesting little boys. Great. The world is safer without this punk. Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh, did he talk about it? When did he talk about it? On Joe Button's podcast? What did he say? Do y'all eat honeybee pollen granules? I love this stuff. This stuff is so cute. Just like a teaspoon. What I know, Lamar be on his P's and Q's, because he's a sweet yes. It tastes like honey. Whatever you think honey tastes like, it tastes like honey, but the texture is not like honey. I mix it with cocoa and beet powder. Interesting. I usually eat it like this, just shaking in my hand. Or I like putting it on salad because it's not crunchy, like hard crunchy, but it's a little texture. It has a little texture to it. But the taste of it is like honey. Like a light honey. On a short video today on his platform, he basically said it's important for us to address these things along with what contributions were. Presenting the history as is actual was, all sides. Omit nothing. Tell everything. Yeah. Now, I don't think that this is the same thing. But this is the recent example that's been getting under my skin. Chris Brown did his little time for the Rihanna situation. Now, did Chris Brown continue to be a terror? Yes. Is he a colorist? Is he continue to abuse other people other than Rihanna? Yes. Has he did anything recently? Not really, that I know of. But he had anger issues. He's one of those type of people. But what I have seen, especially because I listen to music podcasts, I have seen a lot of people who like to absolve him when it doesn't need it. We are talking about music. You can say you like Chris Brown's song. You can say you like Chris Brown as a person. You can say he never did anything to you, but not say he never did anything to you. You could say you can be a testimony of your good experiences with Chris Brown without absolving him from his past indiscretions. Like, don't try to make us feel guilty by associating him with his abuse. And you'll hear that. And it'll be so subtle. Like, I think I talked about this recently, but I'm gonna say it again. Shanice was simply telling a story about Chris Brown using her song, I Love Your Smile, in a remix that he did. And out of respect for her, he found her and sent it to get her approval. Just out of respect. And so she was sharing her story about just how sweet that was, because she could have just put it out. He didn't need her permission and but he wanted her approval, so he sent it to her. And she was just, because they were talking about music and remakes and doing things over and blah, blah, blah. It was a part of the context of the story. Nothing about her statement was to talk about or bring up Chris Brown's past. Nothing about it. She was just telling a good story about Chris Brown, not absolving him of his past, not even bringing it up. And the men around her started to, they were talking about music, but then it flipped to where they're trying to make people feel bad for calling out his bullshit. So the dude behind the scenes says, yeah, people don't understand that Chris is a good person. Boom. She's not talking about whether or not he's bad or not. She's talking about her good experience. You don't need to bring up whether he's good or bad. You don't even need to bring it up. You could say, yeah, whatever. I think, yeah, I feel like artists should do more of that. And blah, blah. Bring up something else. You bring it up. Oh, people love to hold that old stuff against him. Why are you even bringing it up? I get to hold that against whoever I want to hold it against. If you done molested kids or you done beat up women, I don't have to forgive shit. Rihanna can forgive. I don't have to forgive. It could be something just like somebody not liking their Kardashians for whatever reason. They cannot like them. If I want to say I don't like men who beat women and I don't like him, I can do that. And you can like him. You can look over it. But at the end of the day, it happened. And while I think he has done whatever he needed to do to, he paid his dues or whatever, I can still not like you. And it doesn't matter because I'm not a celebrity. You probably ain't never gonna meet me, and it doesn't matter. But I don't need people who I'm listening to try to make it seem like it's bad for me to think about it, or for people outside of them to think about it. Because then Sean goes on to talk about, he started chiming in on it. And I'm like, y'all never talk about, y'all are quick to defend motherfuckers when you don't need to bring it in. But then when we ask you to bring it in on other situations, you don't bring it in. Because what pissed me off about it is that Al brought up in his comments why they didn't talk about Drew Dixon with L.A. Reid. Because, not Drew Dixon. I really thought they should have brought that up. But say you don't want to bring up the rape allegations. Why y'all talking about the business of music changing? You have an executive here on your couch who is notoriously been giving people under his banner bad deals. TLC, Tony Braxton, Pink, bad fucking deals. And he's sitting here talking about, oh, the game has changed. We don't focus on the artist and da 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 da. You were a part of the fucking change. Now you're not making as much money off of it. And so you got a problem with it. But when you was milking your artists for their coins, it was no tea. So y'all brought up the subject. Push him. Ask him questions about that. Just like y'all bring up defending Chris Brown and his indiscretions, why y'all don't bring it up in this situation? Why always you only bring up defending these niggas? But when they in the comments, they was telling me, oh, if you want that messy stuff, you need to go to Shade Room. Okay, well, I think it's messy y'all bringing up Chris Brown's abuse when she wouldn't even talk about his abuse. She was talking about him being nice to her as a legend, and he's a new up and coming. Why y'all didn't just stick to that? Y'all don't mind defending, but when it was to hold people accountable, y'all quiet. Y'all quiet. So y'all don't mind talking about it, but it's always got to be to defend. Y'all don't mind bringing it up long as you are defending and saying that it's okay for us to look past it. Does that make sense? No, some of us is going to bring it up because that's what it is. Y'all, especially when it's relevant. Now, sometimes I bring shit up just because I'm being late. It ain't got nothing to do with what we talk about. And then but I'm expecting the backlash. I'm expecting when I say, but what about judiction? She said you raped her. Where's judiction at? I'm being shady on purpose, but sometimes it's not about being shady. In my assessment of the conversation, we talking about the business and the money changing. This is somebody who notoriously gave people bad deals, so much so that they have notorious bankruptcies, notorious unfair money split. TLC, Tony Braxton. So let's talk about how you contribute, since you want to hold people accountable to the changing of the guard, changing of the game. It's not focused on this anymore. It's because of you greedy motherfuckers. It's because of your greed that made people get in and start focusing on money and not focus on the artistry. That's why we got these bitches out here that can't sing. That's why we can't, what Beyonce say, people don't make albums no more. We out here got bitches just pushing out singles. There's no artistry. And you are one of the reasons, L.A. Reid. You are one of the reasons. So I'm the type of person that when you are when you got some bad shit, girl, we need to talk about the bad shit. So I agree with Mark Lamont in that way. I agree. First of all, I love Mark Lamont Hill. He's so sexy. He's right. You tell it all, the good stuff and the bad stuff, because honey, Bill Cosby is going to be remembered for the great stuff that Bill Cosby contributed, and he is also going to be remembered for being the rapist who drugged people. That is the both things. Same thing with R. Kelly, king of R&B in the 90s and early 2000s, but also pedophile and abuser. Sean Puffy Combs. All the things. Just TikTok sound bites. Facts. So yeah, this Afrikan Bambaataa dude, if you see any of the rest in peace post of his, know that he is a pedophile that was molesting 12-year-olds and preteens and or early teens and late teens, and a lot of people have come out. Multiple, it ain't just one. Multiple boys growing up have that. One of them wrote a book describing it. One of them did some interviews, like multiple, not just one. And they were adult men who had been telling and been saying this stuff has happened, but they were keeping it quiet and not believing them or keeping it quiet. So when the Me Too movement opened that door about Me Too, be loud, they started to be loud. I watched the Lord Lamar interview last night. Oh, I hate that man. Anytime I see him, I don't listen to shit. What did he have to say? I block him. He's blocked. He's a homophobe and a transphobe, and he has a little penis. Did you see him on Oz? That little his energy is too much to have that little ass dick. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. That little fucking baby dick you got. Get out of here. His energy, how you this masculine, homophobic, anti-trans man, and you ain't even got no big dick. Fuck out of here. That little shrimp, Vienna sausage, you got big dick energy with a little dick. Get the fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. That little late piece. That little motherfucking at least have a fucking slong. You out here acting all tough and manly with a motherfucking 13-year-old dick. You don't get your punk ass out of here. Calm down, you and your little clit. You and your little elongated clit, calm down. Sorry, trans man, I'm not trying to be offensive. But get out of here. All right, babe. Sure. Oh, I didn't know about him before I saw that. Oh, he got a bunch of horrible homophobic interviews on Vlad TV. Multiple ones. Very anti-trans. Yeah, I block him, so I don't really see him too much on anything. I like horrible. He's horribly homophobic. And he was the Bootsy before Bootsy. Like in regards to only time you hear him talking is when he's talking about gay shit. Like when Lil Nas X came out, he wanted to claim that he's not in hip hop. That's not what hip hop about, and da 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 da. That's on some other shit. He loved to put his mouth on gay shit. Ironically. Like unapologetically homophobic. Yeah, he was bad. Like he's like Little Bootsy, but about gay homosexual shit, and not just about trans. Well, same thing. You know how Lil Bootsy is. Only time you hear Lil Bootsy is when he's talking about some homophobe shit. That's how Lord Jamal is. Jamar. But yeah, once I seen that little late cat meat on Oz, remember Oz used to have the full frontal, and he was one of the actors on Oz. Baby, once I see that little cat meat, girl, you giving all this big dick energy. Get out of here. Grow up, sir. Girl, boy, you don't get to talk to me until Freudian slip. You don't get to talk to me until your dick grows up. When your dick grows up, then you can talk to me about masculinity and real men, and you ain't even one yet, baby. You still growing at 40 50. Now you older than me, so you gotta be in your 50s now. How old is he? Okay, Google. How old is Lord Jamar?
Lord Jamar is 57 years old.
You almost 60. So I know. Ain't no more growing. Dick gonna be little for the rest of your life. That's why you hate the gays. Because the gays wouldn't fuck with you when you was young. Because that dick was late. And you saw all the boys growing up getting their dick sucked in Brooklyn. And they didn't want to suck yours. So you hate the gays. And you still evil about it. None of the booch queens wanted to have. Because as soon as they see that piece, they laughing at you. I'm pretty sure that's probably what it was. Because seeing that little late piece, you went, Mm-mm. I don't live. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. What y'all want to talk about? We got about 45 minutes. So yeah, what's on your mind? What's y'all tea? I ain't been doing shit. I've been playing ooh, I need to take one of these lozenges. I've been playing Elder Scrolls. There's something that they have made, and I've talked about this before. So my gay son Brandon passed away in 2022, and we used to play Elder Scrolls together. So I just got back into it. Yes, I did watch it last night. I'll talk about it. I just got back into it, and so there's some shit that I missed out on because I wasn't playing it, and so I love the housing area of the game. So if you're watching, please still watching, thumbs up. If you haven't, thumbs up. There's a housing area where you can buy a house that lives in the game, and you can decorate it how you want to. And everybody does all of these fancy decorations. I think I posted a video about with mine on there. So mine is supposed to be this fairy house, like this very beautiful, like, because I'm an elf, so I wanted to look like I'm the queen of the fairies, like Maleficent. So it's supposed to look like really colorful and pretty and floral and fairy like. Tons of different, and everywhere you go into the house, it looks like a magical thing. So there's this item that they sold in 2023, 2020, end of 2022, 2023, but I wasn't playing the game. So sometimes when you play games like Elder Scrolls Online, certain things only came out during that year that it came out. So if you wasn't around, it ain't out no more. Or there's a hard way to get it. It's just so many things. Some things you just can't get no more. So there is a item that when you're in your house, you can change the time of day that the world looks like in your house. So like if it's sunny and bright, midday, you want it like that. It's this thing that you can place in your home, and it's a dial that you can, it need to be this time of day. It need to be at night. It need to be, because any other time, if you don't have that thing, when you come to your house, it just depends on the time of the world, like the time of the day within the game world. So sometimes it's daytime when you come there, sometimes it's night, sometimes it's blah 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 blah. But this thing lets you change what time of day it is in your house, and I love that. So when I bring, because I feel like because I have a whole bunch of pretty lighting and flower shit, I feel like my house look better at night. But when I bring somebody to my house, because you can do tours of my house and people love it, they will send me emails and shit. when you do a tour of my house, I think it looks better at night because of the lighting. So sometimes when I get in groups of people and people want to see my house, I take them, but it's daytime. I would love to have something that can change it to night whenever I wanted to. So this thing can change. You bring it into the house and you put it somewhere and you can change the time of day that it is in your housing area. Oh, I gotta get that thing. So I've been playing it because while they used to sell it in the Crown store. Now the only way you can get it is through this one particular vendor, but it costs 1,000 writs, and writs are like these daily quests that you gotta do 1,000 fucking times each day. So think about getting to 1,000, and you gotta make 1,000, and it's like, oh my god, 1,000, girl. And the easiest ones to get are the writs, but you gotta buy them from the fucking guild trade. So it costs money. It's just a long, tedious questing process. And so it's like, oh my god, it's gonna take me forever. So I'm gonna try to get it. I need 1,000 Brits because I want that in my house. I want it in my house so I can change it to nighttime every time I show somebody my house, because it looks good in the daytime, but it just looks better at night because the sky is all black and the moon is shining, the stars is cute, and then you got all of these lights and pretty colors. It's just perfect. When the sun is up, it's just the blue sky and the sun. It's cute, but it ain't like it is at night. Are you gonna upload a Love Beneath video soon? No, the Love Beneath series is over until my book comes out. Because you got to understand, Love Beneath was only supposed to be stories about my childhood. I only have certain stories about my childhood because it only lasted a couple of the years of my childhood. So the experience that I've already told y'all multiple times. So it's not anymore. It's not any more stories about that time of my life. But the book goes into, I don't know when it's coming out. It's so much going on with the world that I don't know what's going on. But in the book, I just go into either more detail or tell y'all other aspects of the story. There's new stories in there too, but I tell y'all other aspects because it's the stories on YouTube are stories about love and sex with the boys that I was dealing with in that time of my life, men and boys. um, but the book expands the love beneath. It's about the same time period, but I'm talking about the book is about how love is either given to me or taken away from me based on my queerness. And so it is romantic love, given or taken, or how it is muddled or shifted or siphoned to or from me based on my queerness. And it's not just romantic, it's family love, brotherly love, because I talk about both of my brothers and how different our relationship is and how that manifests in my youth. I talk about my mother many times, about my mother, the good and the bad and the ugly, and how that love for her waxed and waned, and how her love for me waxed and waned as she got older. Community love, how I loved my community being the queer LGBT community, but how there's an ugly side of it too. That's really that put me in very negative, potentially dangerous situations when I was younger. Predators trying to manipulate me. Because I talk about Will. Remember the story? I talk about Will, but I never talked about Jonathan. And so there's a story about not Jonathan as in my ex-boyfriend in my 20s, but there's a Jonathan in my teens. I never talked about Jonathan. And so I specifically didn't talk about him so I can save it for the book. Um, and he basically was an older 23-year-old boy trying to get my 16-year-old self to be his concubine, basically. And so I want to tell that story. And so, yes, it's about love and all the stuff. And so, yes, if all the extra stuff for that series is going to be in the book, it's not going to be, I'm not going to do any more videos about it. Yeah. So there's that. Okay, let's see what y'all said. Um, Somebody said, "Are you going to dabble in the Handmaid's Tale spinoff?" I don't think I'm going to do any content about it unless it's something that just sparks my interest to talk about. But I did watch the first 3 episodes and I loved it. I love them. Um, yeah, I love them so far. I love what they're doing so far. I love that they brought back June for the beginning. You know, I don't think, of course, she should. I love that she's a part of it in the sense of this kind of espionage person. I love that. Um, I already see my villain. I hate that Asian aunt, the Asian aunt. I hate that Latina girl. I don't know if she's Latina. I don't know what she. I hate her. The one that stuck up purple, stuck up plum. I hate her. She gets on my fucking nerves already. Um, yeah, I'm excited to see where they go because I know they're gonna humble a lot of these situations or put them in complicated story mode, complicated situations. I just know. I see it. Um, I wanted Aunt Lydia to die. But they're giving her a redemptive arc in this part of the story. Um and so I am excited about her and what they're going to do with her, not only because of the character but because I like the actress, so I'm excited to see where they, now that she's not going to be a villain, because she was a villain of the other series, but she's on the side of Revolution now. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the wives are going to do. Yeah, I'm excited about that. You saw Congress requested a cognitive assessment of Donald Trump. Hmm. I didn't. I know they did a letter. I just don't feel like um, Democrats are being aggressive enough, but they never are. So I wish they were aggressive as the right. But I also want him to go crazy. I want him to go crazy in front of our eyes. I want him to. We got how many more years? Because he can't run again. So we got. I want whatever these 4 years. I want him to go crazy, and I'm talking about deteriorate. I'm talking about full on dementia, deterioration in our eyes. I want him to, whatever they were claiming that Joe Biden was going through, I want them to see it happen to him. Yes, 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 yes. He keeps wandering off during events, so it's not long now. How many more years we got? This is midterm year, right? 26, 27, 28. We got to 28. Mm. We get to what? January 29, right? Don't we got, is that when, that's when he gets out of office officially? January 29? I feel like shit gotta hit the fan before it changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it got to get bad. If I don't want it to get bad because I know who is going to be predominantly harmed, but I feel like to do a whole cultural reset, it got to get bad. What else has been going on? Oh, did we talk about Christy Noam's husband and his fake titties? Did we talk about that? Do we need to talk about that? I'm like, that's so common. That are y'all surprised about when y'all? Is it even surprising when these right wing nut jobs are secret cross dressers or secretly gay, secret cross dressers, secretly molesting kids, secretly beating their wives? Like, is it surprising? It's not surprising to me. I don't know if it's because of my experiences with them. Um, it's almost, I don't know. I feel like for you to have, I don't know, I haven't thought about this thoroughly, so I'm just talking shit. But it's something about, and I don't think this manifests in everybody, but it manifests in a lot of people to where I've observed it. It might be Freudian, I don't know. It's something about when you have a deep hate for something. I feel like certain people have a deep hate for something that they want to be it. And and I just see that in people, in them type of cross dresser people. It's just something. And what I hate about it is that the parallels people make with that and being an actual transgender person, that's what makes it like cringe. Do you see what I'm saying? It's so cringe because one is growing from an authentic place of identity, and one is growing from a place of hate and fetishizing it as an object. So it's just so fucking weird. I hate that part of it. And people who don't understand either one will put them together. Does that make sense? People who don't understand either one will put them together just because of how it's manifesting within the two. Does it make sense? I don't understand trans people. I don't understand this cross-dresser, but this is a male, born a male who is putting on women's clothes. So for me, thank you, Moni. Thank you. For me, I don't understand none of this shit, so I'm gonna hate both of them equally and put them in the same bucket. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't like that. I don't. It annoys me because I just know how ignorant people are and how people are. People hate. People's hate doesn't allow them to be intellectually curious and understanding people. Like, how are you maligned against what you love? It's such a strange behavior. Yes. Um. What else? And I can't help that. So that's one thing. I hate the parallels that people draw between people like that and us. I also hate the part of me that says I told you so. I want to say hate it, but it is something about seeing white women embarrassed that I conservative white women, not just white women in general, but white women who are against me. It is something about seeing them harmed that brings me joy, not like harmed and tortured and wore out, but embarrassed and done wrong. It's something like when black men do crazy shit to them, because especially the ones that would love to dog black women, is a part of me. And I think that I don't want this in me. But there's a part of me that be like, see, that's what your ass get. You talk down on black women. You believe what all these black men say about us, and here now he doing you like he do us. There's a part of me that is like, that's what your fucking ass get. And I don't think that's a good thing to have on the inside of you, but that's real. That's how I be feeling. Um, and so sometimes when I recently listened to an episode of Oprah where this blonde haired white woman, let me see if I can find the video for y'all to play it. Blonde hair, skinny, classic white woman. She's like a classic. Like everything about her is given upper class. Let's see if I can find it I'm sure I commented on it. Everything about her was given Martha Stewart, boring, Boring, classic, blonde, long hair, typical white beauty, white woman. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here she go. So she was on Oprah. She got married to this man. He was having an affair on her. He convinced her in their early in their marriage to adjust their prenup. Now, she's coming into the scenario with money. She's not some broke girl and he's rich. She has an inheritance. So she comes from money. He got some money. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like either one, both of them are invested in this prenup. He convinced her to change it. Stupid.
Beginning, you were shocked that your husband didn't want to, he seemed to want to give up his role as being an immediate father. Not that he didn't continue to have a relationship with his children, but when he said what he said to you, were you surprised?
I was really surprised. He said it the first day when he was leaving, when he was walking out the door, that he did not want custody. He said I could have full custody. And I thought he would change his mind.
Yeah.
And I'm a child of divorce, and I really believe in joint custody. It's what I would have wanted. So I served up a joint custody agreement, 50-50. And it came back black-lined with all of his time taken out.
And his reason was that the children were older.
He said they were fully formed human beings.
Yes.
And that he was a great dad, but this was not going to be the next part of his life. He also thought it was better for them not to go back and forth.
He didn't want them going back from household to household.
Household to household. Yeah. But my youngest was 12. She really wanted a bedroom in his apartment, and that was really painful.
Did he continue to engage with the children?
He's always been very kind and sweet with them. He keeps in touch with them by text. They see each other for a dinner, for a hockey game. But he does not do the day-to-day parenting, the emotional stuff, the college applications, the Spanish tests. That is not what he has done. He's stuck to that commitment to not being that kind of parent.
Wait, that's not the end, y'all.
You mentioned your stepmom. In the book, I remember when she tells you that divorce is worse than death. And at first, you didn't seem to agree. Yeah. Did you come to realize differently or think differently about that? Divorce is worse than death. I know a lot of you who are going through it, have been through it, feel that way.
Yes, I think it's hard for me to say that because I watched her lose my father and how horrible that was to be a widow. And
but she's a therapist.
Yes,
and she told you.
She told me.
Yes.
And she believes that it's worse because he is out there living a different life. And I had to really look back at our love story and reevaluate it and feel that rejection, which is so painful.
Yeah.
But my children still have a father.
But look at her.
And a lot of, when there's death, people lose important people to them.
Yeah, I understand that. And I know a lot of people are going to challenge it. But what I think she meant, and I have said that to my friends too.
Yeah.
This is worse than death, because if your husband had died, you come to accept that he is dead and nothing's going to change, and you couldn't have changed that.
Yes, and your narrative can stay the same.
If your husband betrays you, suddenly leaves you, you're still left with all the whys and the whys and the whys. And
a lot of shame.
Okay. More?
One night you became convinced that James had fathered the other woman's toddlers because he told you that she had toddlers, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Toddlers, about 3 and 1 year old.
Yeah. And when you confronted him, he said what?
Well, at that point, he had stopped answering my phone calls and told me that I was too upset for him to speak to. But I caught him in the middle of the night. He picked up the phone at about 1 a.m. because I was spiraling, thinking that he had actually fathered them. And he said, stop, you have lost your mind. And he hung up the phone. But that seemed, in this world where everything that I thought was impossible was now possible, I thought even that could be possible.
Yeah. But it hasn't been 2 weeks or a month that you're now the father of the toddlers. And a logical thought.
Yes,
for somebody
it happens.
Yes, it happens all the time. And you write, I felt like I had lost my mind, like his exit had transformed me suddenly from an intelligent, stable wife and mother to an unhinged lunatic, a madwoman. Somehow I had become the dangerous person in the story, the volatile character, rather than he, the man who had left his family. Yeah.
It's amazing to me, and I think this happens to a lot of women. Overnight, somehow we're transformed into the hysteric.
But I do think that, based on all the people I know who've gone through this, that's a tactic.
Yes, I think it is.
That's a tactic that the men use.
Absolutely.
In many instances, I realize where I'm laughing because I remember a girl goes, "I am not crazy."
Exactly. Yes.
In many instances where the man, the husband, the spouse, is saying, "You're crazy.
Yes.
You're hysterical." And I think there was a wonderful line that you wrote where you said, "Once a woman is painted as a hysteric,
the rest of the story is washed away.
She's dismissed."
Yes, she's absolutely dismissed. And it happens very quickly.
Okay, so that's one part. Where's the divorce part?
I texted the man who had called me. I wasn't quite ready to talk to him on the phone. And I said, "Can you tell me how long this has been going on?" And he said, "I think about a month." So a little bit different. And then he said, "But I can't talk now because my wife is in an ambulance and she has tried to kill herself."
This is the girlfriend.
The girlfriend. Yes. Yeah, his wife, my husband's mistress.
Yes.
And I felt such worry then for this woman I'd never met. And I went to find my husband. And
you're a different kind of woman. You're not going to worry about the other woman. Yes.
I just thought, she's in distress. Is she okay?
Yeah.
And I went to find my husband. He was in our guest room and he was on the phone with her. And he was almost hunched over the phone in this very caretaking pose. And I remember thinking, he's caretaking of her and not of me. And I've just learned that our marriage is in crisis and he's had an affair.
So you realize he's on the phone with her.
And that he looks concerned and caretaking.
About
her. And it was such a cold feeling, thinking that he was worried about her.
Yeah. After just getting off the phone with her man.
Fine. She took some sleeping pills. She's going to be okay. And then a few hours passed. He went to sleep. I stayed in my room in torment.
Okay, well, let me just read this part. I love this part.
He went to sleep.
Right. She had taken the pills. The moment James' wife, first heard about her.
Yes.
Right? Wasn't I the one, is what you say, wasn't I the one who was supposed to be falling apart? Wasn't he supposed to be worried about me?
Exactly.
She captured my husband's attention at a time when I needed it most.
Yes.
Insane.
I saw this book.
We had just finished dinner. I was cleaning up. I was actually mopping the floor. And I got a call on my cell phone. I don't recognize the number, so I let it go to voicemail. And then I play the message, and it's a man's voice. He sounds nervous, and he says, "I'm trying to reach Belle. I'm sorry to tell you this, but your husband is having an affair with my wife." And this is a voice message. This is a voice message. And my first thought is, this can't be true. This must be a mistake. It's a wrong number.
Yeah,
and then I realized the wrong Belle. Realized he said my name.
Yeah.
And I think my husband's going to explain this. We're very happily married. We love each other. I've never seen any sign of this. How can this be true? And we'd had this week we were all scared about the pandemic, but it was very cozy. He was chopping wood and making fires and bringing me cocktails. And that night he admitted to the affair, but he told me that it didn't mean anything. It had only been going on for a couple of weeks.
So I want to stop this right here because I want y'all, because why I'm playing this for y'all is because everything she's saying should invoke empathy for me. But this is the prejudice in me. She looks like white women who get whatever the fuck they want. Long, blonde hair, blue eyes. She's in all of this white that is.
I've never seen any sign of this. I've never seen any sign of this. How can this be true? And we'd had this week that was, we were all scared about the pandemic, but it was very cozy. He was chopping wood and making fires and bringing cocktails and
how she's
and that
dressed.
Night, he admitted to the affair
in all this
but he
white.
told me that it didn't mean it.
This paladin, out of this popey, everything about her screams ugh to me. And so while my brain should be empathizing and saying, God, he really did her wrong, part of me is like, oh girl, you have been pampered all your fucking life and now you're going through something. You believed in this fucking system and it wore you out. Because he ended up wearing her coins out. He ended up, this is the one he convinced her to take her, not protect her fucking inheritance, and it just ended up being so shady. But she's such a classic white woman that it is hard, and this is something I have to work on myself, that it's hard for me to see empathy in you because you are so privileged that I can't do nothing but side eye. Is that fair? No. Is that right? No. But that's my truth. It is my truth. It is, I can only imagine, other scenarios where that feeling can be applied. But I look at you and I'm like, you're so privileged that I roll my eyes. You're going to find you another husband that like long hair, modest white girls. You got a little coin, so you're going to be in the circle of niggas who got coins. It's just, I don't know. I feel her worst day is somebody else's dream scenario. Right. Even though all those woes, she's telling a common story to Oprah with a book deal, with a book out, about to make money off the book. Never at risk of being homeless because she got her parents' money already ready. While it just is devastating, I get it, but it still feels like, okay, girl. And that is bad. That is bad. But sometimes I be like, girl, it's hard for me to sympathize with y'all sometimes. When you're at a level of privilege. Her fairy tale just had a major edit. She's still the belle of the ball, quite literally, Belle. Her name is Belle Burden. Isn't it ironic? Belle Burden, beautiful burden, because Belle means beauty in French, I think. Belle Burden. That is so funny. Beautiful burden. Despair will never see her doorstep at all. It's like she's never gonna know true pity, and I love that for her. Yeah, I don't want her to seem harmed, but it's hard for me to relate. It's hard for me to sympathize. I just be like, okay, girl, you be okay. Okay, girl, you want Oprah getting your book sold. You had enough money to write a book and get it published and do your thing. You never was homeless. You had a place to stay with your kids. It's late that your husband say he ain't gonna help you with the kids because he don't want to be that kind of parent. Okay, men do that, but you'll still be okay. Okay, girl, you're gonna turn your sweet lemons, well, not even lemons. You're gonna turn your sweet oranges into more orange juice. The irony of her writing a book about it at all is too funny too. Like she didn't have a major collapse and is profiting off the slight inconvenience. Yeah, that's another. It be cackling. I cackle when I hear people say the market is flooded in any genre. I think on the as influencers. I think as authors. I think as musicians. Girl, put your shit out there. Don't worry about the market being flooding. People want to hear your story, even if it's a million of the same story out there. Oh, well, all right, y'all. I'm up out of here. Make sure y'all thumbs up. I will chat with y'all later. Um, yeah. What else? What else do I want to say before I close out? Yeah, I have started a series called Past the Stonewall. I'm going to be posting videos about it. I posted the first one about Reed Erickson. I already posted that one. I'm going to post some more. If you follow me on TikTok, you saw the first 3 episodes, but I haven't posted it on YouTube yet. The problem is TikTok is 916 and YouTube is landscape. So they just Derek Downey just released a app that's #1 in the App Store that when the app can record in both ways, so you don't have to record the same stuff. Anyway, the problem is YouTube doesn't like when you put long form videos in the landscape, but it's just a bunch of stuff. Anyway, so once I figure out all of that, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post all 3 episodes, but I have way more episodes to add to it. But it's called Past the Stonewall because I wanted to do a series on trans history that discusses some of our icons or circumstances in the past that impact American culture today or some portion of American culture today. And I want to share my knowledge about trans history in bite-sized videos. Like I don't want them to be super long. They could be nothing over 10 minutes because I can be verbose, but I need to give context. So if I can make it short, it's gonna be short. But if I need it to be a little bit longer, it's gonna be a little bit longer. But just little snippets. I think I've outlined about like 45. But because I have a encyclopedia of trans people in my brain and so history. So yeah, I want to put that out there. So make sure y'all engage with them and thumbs them up and share them when you see them. So the first one is Reed Erickson, and it's going to be centered around Black folks, but there are some white people that I'm going to feature because they have some type of significance, but it's going to be a lot of Black people. But yes. And sometimes it's not going to be people specifically. Sometimes it's going to be themes, just so you can understand what part we played in certain themes. I hope that makes sense. All right. So make sure y'all engage with them and tell me what y'all think in the comments of those videos. Yeah. All right. Bye, y'all.